Coming to you live from Hubstein Field in Plainfield, New Jersey. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Plainfield's home turf to take on your Franklin Warriors exclusively here on the HSG Network. I'm Dave Sturcho alongside Scott Harrell and our producer, Howard Gaber. Scott, we got ourselves a game that means a lot to both teams here, as both teams coming in 1-5. So obviously it's been tough sledding for both of these squads. However, Franklin with the upset of the year last year, coming off their 28-21 win against Elizabeth in a game where the papers were writing them off from the previous week. So both teams coming in, and obviously Plainfield coming in off a bye, off a 55-6 loss. So they had a little extra time to prepare for this one as they come up to the end of their season.
Absolutely, but that loss that they came off of was against Elizabeth, which Franklin is they actually came out, put together an excellent game from start to finish. On paper, right now, logic would dictate that Franklin has the advantage, coming in, beating the team that racked up over 50 points on Plainfield. But right now, this could be a barn burner. We could be in for one of the greatest games, even of two 1-5 teams, all day long. But one thing I do want to point out, Dave, that field is wet. It's grass. It's an overcast day, prime for turnovers.
Yeah, whoever wins the turnover battle typically wins the ball game. Last week, Franklin's defense able to force plenty of turnovers, including a couple interceptions, fumble recoveries, and a lot of hot pursuit on that defensive line. So here we go now. It's going to be Franklin who have won the toss and defer to the second half. They'll be kicking off to the Plainfield Cardinals wearing all red, white helmets. Franklin wearing their away jerseys in white, blue pants, blue helmet. Kicking off right to left on your screen here on Facebook Live, presented to you today by Fruita Bowls of Somerset. There's your kickoff. It'll be taken by one of the up men at the 30, looking for a wall of blockers. He gets to the 40, and he'll be spilled about the 42-yard line. That kickoff was returned by, look to be, number 34.
34.
It was not on the roster currently, so we're going to look more into that as we get things going. So something to be said about this defense is that they held Elizabeth all first half. It was a real close game in the first half. They made their halftime adjustments, and then they just came out storming. So it's headed by one of our favorites up here, Marcus Estevez up front.
Absolutely. He clogs up the middle and clogs up drains at times. He's the biggest kid on that team at 300 pounds, and he's not even a senior.
Scary thought. 1st and 10 now for the Plainfield Cardinals, starting off around their own 41. They're going to reset the clock real quick before we get things jumping off here. We have a camera on the clock, however, official time kept on the field, but we do have an official up here, so it'll be better than normal. So 1st and 10 here for the Cardinals. Under center, he's going to hand the ball off, try to get some room here. He's going to spill for about 4 yards, and that's carried by number 25, and that is Demetrius Stevens.
Number 25, George Amankwa on the tackle. Once again, Franklin picking up right where they left off last week, keeping them in short yardage situations, which is what they've been looking for all season long. If the defense can come out strong, we may see a repeat of last week in shaking in Plainfield instead of Somerset.
So 2nd down and 6. Quarterback under center with a pro form. He's going to sweep it out to the left, looking left, and finds a hole in order to get about a 4-yard gain. And that's carried by number 15, Tajon Taylor.
Number 9, Alan Bello on the carry.
Wait, hold.
On the tackle. First time we've had to call his name today, and I'm quite sure it will not be the last. We're looking at 3rd and 3 for the Cardinals. Cardinals come to the ball.
So 3rd and short here, manageable. Tries to cut it out the outside. Good stop and a loss, which would be 4th down. Great. That's going to be number 25 again.
Zaire Ross Hester on the tackle for Franklin, bringing up 4th and 5. It's just incredible.
4th down now. That's going to be forced a punt situation, a 3 and out. That's exactly what the Franklin Warriors needed. It looks like they're going to line up to punt here in looks like they got no flankers, so they're looking to prevent the block from happening. They will get the punt off. End over end. It's going to hit the grass first. And remember, that ball's slick, so you got to be careful. And there's a muff. But a recovery by Franklin. That could have been tragic. That's recovered by
Donnell McQuilla was the man on the ball. Johnny on the spot. And just like we were talking about, Dave, before the game, that ball is wet. That field is wet and could cause a turnover at any time.
So the Franklin Warriors led by their quarterback, Kayvon Gordon. 35 of 81 for the year, 432 yards through the air. They've been finding their receivers on the outsides, their lethal weapon being Shakuna Kamara, one of your exciting playmakers on the outsides, can take the ball out of the backfield. He can do it all, folks. But let's not discredit in what we've seen over the last couple of weeks and pretty much this entire season, Isaiah Solomon, who was listed as the third running back going into training camp, a couple banged-up injuries, and here he is carrying the rock for the Warriors. So now shotgun set on first down. We got ourselves a false start penalty on the right tackle.
Hey, between those two players you called, you got 60 points for the season for both of them. 36 for Kamara, 24 for Solomon. They're looking to light up the scoreboard today any way they can, Dave.
Second down now, hand it off up to 42, and that's going to take it to about the 20. Looking for some more room. That's Donnell McQuilla on the carry. Not much to see there as he's spilled to about the original line of scrimmage.
Allen Arnold, number 8, in on the tackle, along with at least 5 other Cardinals. They got back that penalty yardage, but it's going to bring up that 2nd and 10. Plainfield looking to try and keep them in long yardage situation as well.
So now 2nd and 10 after the penalty on first. They get back the yardage they lost on a penalty, but lost the down overall. So 2nd and 10, shotgun set for Kayvon Gordon. He's gonna pitch it over to 42. That's Dontrell again finding a hole. This time he spilled, but a flag comes in real late in the area of holding. So we'll check to see the flag. Donnell McQuilla again on the carry, and we're going to get a hold on Franklin. That'll back him up just a little more to bring up a redo on 2nd down. 2 costly penalties already. You want to clean this up relatively quick, Scott.
Absolutely. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. I don't know if you've ever heard that phrase before.
That's my claim to fame.
When your defense is doing the job, I know we've said Franklin is a second-half offensive team, but you don't want to make your life that much harder trying to get the offense started by undisciplined play. You're too deep in the season for undisciplined play at this stage in the game. Now we're coming up on 2nd and 20 for Franklin. Not just trying to get that penalty yardage back, but trying to keep this drive alive as Franklin comes to the ball.
So here we go. 2nd and very long here. Gordon in a shotgun. He's going to look right. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man burning down the sidelines, but just a little too much intended.
He had a step.
Yeah. Zion Ross Hester had a step. I mean, he was behind 2.
Yeah, he had a step on Dylan Millman and Kyrie Harris.
No.
Those were the ones. Excuse me. He had a step on Jared Harris and Kazurian Casey Roberts.
I cannot wait for the first commercial break. That's all I'm saying right now because, boy, oh boy, am I dropping the ball here. 3rd down and very long, a country mile. Kayvon Gordon will be in the shotgun. He's got trips to the top of his screen, including that Swiss Army knife in red Jaber in the slot. Back to pass. He's going to look right. He's got his eyes locked down. He's got a completion over to the right side of the ball. A good yards after the catch, and that's going to be a Franklin Warrior first down. On Shakuna Kamara on the first down.
Excellent job. Allen Arnold on the stop, along with number 13, Kazurian Casey Roberts, but not before that Franklin first down. Excellent keeping that drive alive and conversion for that drive.
Yeah, Kayvon locked his eyes to the right side of the field. All of his receivers ran their routes, and there was, like I said, one of the more explosive players of this offense. Kamara came back to the ball. And it's all about that yak, that yards after the catch. Shotgun now with running back split off to his left and right. 2 receivers to the top of your screen. He's going to hand the ball off to Solomon. Solomon will be dropped relatively in the backfield technically. He's going to lose one on that one.
At least one. That looks like number 12. Number 12, Nasir Long on the stop for a loss of about one. So definitely bringing up long yardage here for Franklin.
2nd and 11. Franklin has committed a few penalties here on their first drive, but have able to survive them. Kayvon Gordon in the shotgun now. 2 running backs split to his right and left, probably for protection or a swing out route. Kayvon back to pass. Both running backs stay put. They're going deep. They're going long for Kamara, who had one-on-one coverage. Great coverage there by the cornerback, but just also ill-advised throw. Good coverage by Daquan Mullings of the Plainfield Cardinals, step for step with one of the faster gentlemen on this Warriors team.
I would have to agree, and while an ill-advised pass, still, as long as the pass either gets to your man or no man, it's not necessarily a bad pass.
Now,
as long as it doesn't become a turnover.
3rd and 11 now. Thank you guys for joining us here on Facebook Live, courtesy of the HSG Network, sponsored today by the Fruit of Bowls. If you are watching and you'd like to share some Saturday afternoon football, be sure to do that. Hit the share button, get our viewers up, help out the Frank Warriors program. Kayvon back to pass. He's going to look for the same route. He's got a man step, but just another ill-advised pass. That's intended for number 8, Ricardo Fulks. He had a step, but again, a little too much on the pass.
Daquan Mullings and company back there in coverage. They were beaten again. This is something that Franklin doesn't seem afraid to go back to again and again. If they can just get that timing between the QB and the receiver, that looks like it will be there for them all day long. The cornerbacks and the safeties, they really got to talk about that coverage problem.
Asari Bampolpari back to punt. Had a little progress on this drive. It stalls out here. They're going to kick it away to the Plainfield Cardinals. And now we're going to get a ill-advised whistle. Not sure if somebody jumped. Maybe a delay. We'll find out. Early indication is that I'm hearing from my right side. It could have been 12 men on the field. But we'll find out as the stripes get together.
So, Dave, if that's not a late bloomer, would that be an early comer?
It is a 5-yard penalty on Plainfield. I didn't get the call because you were making some Tom Wilkins-related joke. So 4th and a little shorter, but we're going to stick to the game plan. It was a 12-man indeed. 12 men on the field on the defense. Got to get those numbers right. So punt will go end over end. Good punt. It'll drop around the 30. Taken by one of the lethal men on this team. But good scoop up. And now another flag. And that's number 4 on the return. That's Justice Williams. You got to be careful. We talked a little bit about him in pregame. Boy, oh boy, tell me a little bit of something about him.
Oh my God, he has video game numbers for this season. 7 kick return touchdowns.
He provided the spark for this Plainfield team all year long. But there was a penalty on that one. We'll find out what the call is. It's against Plainfield, and it looks like it's going to be an illegal block in the back on Plainfield on the return, so that'll back them up to start as I view this beautiful pillar right in front of my face where they're lined up, so I'll go to my monitor here for the next couple plays.
You know, I would have thought they might have pooched it away or at least angled it away from Justice. I'm not sure if they got the numbers on him for the season, but my goodness, he's too dangerous to kick to, in my opinion, Dave.
Absolutely. We'll find out if they continue to do so, but Plainfield's going to start their second drive. Leonte Langston looks to be under center. He'll have pro form behind him. There's a handoff to the left side, looking for blocking right up the gut. And a decent run by number 15, which we got the update. That is Demetrius Stevens. We had a little bit of a roster update. Sometimes, you know what, these players, they like their numbers. And if they can pay enough money, they can, swap them with one of their friends. Maybe swap a jersey number for a lunch meal. I don't know. But regardless, number 15 is Demetrius Stevens. He'll be on the running today for Plainfield.
And that tackle was by number 6, Noah Ratliff for Franklin. Once again, bringing up decent yardage situation.
Second and about 4 now, pro form. Quarterback Now looking a little miscommunication there, and that is a tackle, but a good second effort to gain, at least make something out of nothing. A gain of 2, bringing up 3rd and short.
68, Amir Walker on the stop, didn't let him go. Franklin, what we've seen this year so far, they had some poor tackling. Their tackling has improved markedly over the last 2 games. And Plainfield's definitely going to have something to work with here trying to deal with this defense.
You know, we were talking about Justice Williams before about being one of their more explosive players. That was him lined up in the backfield. So looking at the stats going into this game, he's not necessarily getting the amount of touches. It's what you do with those touches. So we'll find out what the Plainfield Cardinals game plan is. Remember, an extra week to prepare for this game. They might have thrown some wrinkles in their offense. 3rd and about 3, and now we have a penalty and a stoppage of play. Actually, it's a timeout for Plainfield. We're going to go to break here. It is 0-0, 5:13 left in the first quarter.
Pretty much anything that you get on the menu, you can't go wrong. Everything is healthy and has a bunch of vitamins in it.
We offer 3 types of bowls. We have our acai bowls, which is a berry that we bring in from Brazil, and we blend it together with banana. We have our pitaya bowls, which is a little bit sweeter. It's a dragon fruit, and it's a bright pink color. And then we have our kale bowls, which is kale, banana, pineapple, and almond milk. We also have a variety of smoothies. And if you look at the menu and you don't like certain things, we can take stuff in and out for you, or you can totally start from scratch and build your own bowl.
You can sit on the couch, you can sit up on one of the stools with the high tables, and then you can just kind of like relax and eat your bowl while still being here watching TV and watching other customers enjoy their experience as well.
We are back here in Plainfield, New Jersey. We are deadlocked 0-0 here in the first quarter. The Franklin Warriors taking on the Plainfield Cardinals. 5:13 to go in the first quarter. Dave Sturgill alongside Scott Harrell with our producer, Howard Gaber, coming up on a 3rd and short here for Plainfield. Under center, Proform behind him. He's going to look the handoff, and this time he's going to roll. He's got a man wide open. That's going to be a first down and more. Caught by number 25.
And there's number 17, once again, Aliu Kante. We're calling him again. It's a first down for the Cardinals, but the first man gets to him and makes the stop. That's something that Franklin has been looking to do all season. They're successfully did it last game, and now they're doing it consistently this game. I believe that even though they gave up the first down, defense is still doing a good job so far.
So far, so good. They were a very, very bend but don't break defense last week against Elizabeth. Now, first down, handoff right up the middle. He's going to get spilled at the line. Maybe they'll give him forward progression for about a yard.
And right in the middle of that defensively was big number 68, Amir Walker, walking back that pile. That's going to be at least only a pickup for about a yard, I believe, Dave. Which is going to give the Cardinals 2nd and 9 as they come to the ball.
2nd and 9. It seems to me that Plainfield is throwing in a couple new wrenches. They got plenty of running backs to keep these legs fresh, so Franklin's going to have to be on their toes. 2nd and 9. They're going to hand it off to the fullback. That's going to actually be a reverse. Cutting it across the field is that Swiss Army knife known as Justice Williams, and that'll be a Plainfield first down.
Absolutely playing on all Madden mode. He is dangerous. Finally tripped up by Aliu Kante, who I think it's at least the 8th time we've called his name today. But once again, that gives them a first down. They can't let him get started. So far, they bottled him up for this quarter up until that moment. They don't want to give him room.
Something to notice if you're watching at home, Justice Williams lines up now as a receiver, flanked up to the top of your screen. He's going to be one of the lead blockers. Now this one's going to be a handoff right up the gut for about a gain of 4. It looked like it'd be a little bit of a pitch, actually, to Demetrius Stevens, number 15.
Alan Bello on the stop, dragged him down by his ankles. It'll be a pickup of about 3, but no more. Franklin defense still showing up to do their job.
2nd and 7. The Warriors now hands on hips from a couple of these players already. You want to make sure these guys are fresh and ready to go because Plainfield seems to be bringing it strong here in the first quarter with just about 3:13 to go. defense. It's going to be a play-action pass. He's going to roll out. He's got a man right over to the right side, and that looks to be another first down. That's number 5, Kyle Sparrow, one of the top receivers of the Cardinals.
Aliu Conte on the stop.
Alley-oop.
Alley-oop?
Alley-oop.
Alley-oop. But wait,
There you
that's
go.
the wrong sport.
Yeah.
Alley-oop, Conte on the stop, but, it's a Plainfield first down.
That's a third on this drive alone.
I mean, the secondary, the players are making a stop when they make contact, but now they got to stop them from getting the first down.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a missed tackles is a problem right now. They're wrapping up and doing everything they can to get them to the ground. However, they're getting open, and I'm telling you right now, Leonte Langston is hiding that ball well on his play actions, getting this Franklin defense a little confused. This is a handoff to the right side now. He's going to be spilled around the 21-yard line. And that's going to be 25 again. That's Jeremiah Whitfield. My apologies earlier on for not getting his name accurately.
Kevin Millman on the stop, number 10 for Franklin. That's going to bring up, is that going to be second or third and 4?
That's going to be, I believe they just got a first down, so that's
Yeah.
second now coming up. As the drive continues now from the 21-yard line. He's going to line up under center again. It seems to be his way and style of play. He's going to sweep left to the outside. He's got the outside if he gets there, and he does, but not too much, but close to a first down is number 15, Demetrius Stevens. They are feeding this boy, and I'm telling you right now, if he's hungry, why not go to Fruita Bowls of Somerset? You like that little plug there, folks?
I like that.
That's Broadcasting 101. Thank you to Howard Gaber for that one.
Hey, Howard.
So third and very short here.
It sounds to me like someone may throw the red flag to challenge the spot.
Looks to me, yeah. I mean, we are lucky enough to be blessed with the entire coaching staff up here in the booth, so we're going to get all the inside information as it comes. So it's third and short here. Pro form under center. He's going to hand it off. No, he's going to take it up self. He's going to call his own number, looking for the first down. Does he have it?
It's going to be very close. He was snatched up by number 57 immediately, Christopher Donald.
That is indeed a first down by Leonte Langston. Now, if you're looking at the stat sheet, which we were prior to this game, Leonte Langston is 18 of 48, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. So you can see that obviously the attempts are there, and it seems to be he can be more of a multiple threat. So maybe that's why he's the guy today.
Threat with his legs, threat potentially with his arms, and then when you have the talent in the backfield that they do, they could come at you from multiple directions, Dave.
Pro set, first and 10. He's going to call his own number again, right up the middle to the left side, trying to find off tackle there is Langston. So it's one of those things that I guess, Scott, they're going to keep trying until Franklin can stop it. I mean, that's one of those things that a lot of people used to get mad at people in Madden. If you keep running the same play over and over again, I said, you know what? Stop it.
Exactly.
Stop the play. Well, I'm not going to stop running if you can't stop it. But with that, it looks like the Plainfield Cardinals are going to let the clock run out here in the first quarter. We are tied at 0. Second quarter action coming up right after this. Back here at Hupstein Field in Plainfield, New Jersey, we are tied at 0. The Franklin Warriors here to travel, try to become the Road Warriors here against the Plainfield Cardinals, exclusively here on the HSG Network. This is actually not for nothing. This is the HSG Network's first coverage of an away game this year. We're usually upstairs in a booth in Somerset, so we traveled down the road, a little 287 traffic, never did anybody any good, so 287 over in the Plainfield exits now. Dave Sturcio alongside Scott Harrell, our producer, Howard Gaber. Thank you guys for watching this right now. We know there's plenty of you guys watching. Be sure to hit the share button, make your stuff public. Help out these boys, get some exposure as some of these guys are set to attend college and try to play at the next level.
Absolutely, and trust me, we got enough talent on this field for many colleges for years to come.
So 2nd and 8 as we start the second quarter of play. Pro form in the back, it seems to be their bread and butter here. They're going to roll out Langston. He's going to look. He's got a man, and it's good. Well defended.
Ooh.
Great breakup, great defense.
That defense was by.
Intended to Kyle Sparrow on the attendant receiver there.
And guess who? Aliu Conte.
Aliu.
Aliu Conte.
He's gonna see me at school in a couple. He'll be like, Coach, man, who's that guy that's with you? He just can't get you right. We'll get that.
We will get that, but he's been all over the ball the first quarter and going into the second. He is definitely a ball hawk. Been doing his job on defense very well.
3rd and 8 now. You would think that the Plainfield Cardinals are indeed in field goal range, but we'll see what they do with a 1-5 record, trying to go all or nothing on this game. We'll see what they decide to do if unable to convert. Single back set. He's going to hand it off, and it's going to be a double reverse again, this time up the middle, but sniffed out by the Warriors. Good pursuit. That was taken by Daquan Mullings on the carry, but bottled up well on the inside.
And the stop was by big number 58, Dejan Alexander.
Oh, he's a big boy.
Oh, he basically ate that run for lunch.
So now it's 4th and 8, decision time for the Plainfield Cardinals. Like I said before, 1-5 record, going for all or nothing here. So let's go for it here on 4th down. 4th and 8 here early in the second quarter, 0-0 score. It's like Langston will direct traffic here. He's going to go under center again. Keep your eye on number 4, Justice Williams. He's going to play action pass. He's looking his way. Too much on the throw, a little inaccurate, and that'll be a turnover on downs and a victory for the Franklin Warrior defense.
Absolutely. And you know what I think, Dave? I think the quarter ending going into the second actually helped out Franklin a little bit, because during the drive you could see Franklin's defense starting to get a little winded, a little hands on the hips, starting to look a little gassed. That extra break, just to be able to hold them right there, I think helped them out a little bit, because their defense had been on the field for quite some time.
Yeah, I was definitely noticing that, especially the interior line, the defensive line was getting a little winded there. So good defensive stand by the Franklin Warriors now. As Kayvon Gordon in the shotgun, he's got trips to the top of your screen, one flank to the bottom. He's going to hand that ball off up the middle. That's Solomon, who's been the story and the headline of this offense this season. Senior trying to make his way. Last year, a lot of frustration, couldn't get a lot of reps. But this year, again, he can't fight the injury bug. The injury bug will win all the time, and he is taking full advantage of his opportunity to run the rock exclusively for this Franklin Warriors offense.
Absolutely. He's been doing incredible things this season so far. Derek Thomas, that was Derek. Yes, Thomas on the stop for the Cardinals on that last run.
Shotgun set now. Takes the snap. He's going to look. He's going to pitch it to the left, trying to get outside. No blocking at all.
That's going to be Kyle Sparrow on the stop.
And Donnell McQuilla trying to look for some daylight. No daylight to be found, bringing up 3rd down already. A very quick 1st and 2nd down done already. 10 minutes to go here. Plainfield, New Jersey is the site and location. Today's game obviously brought to you by Fruita Bowls. You've seen them a couple times on our commercial breaks. Be sure to check those guys out, because right after this game, it's going to be around lunchtime, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Go check out Fruita Bowls in Somerset.
I know our producer will take us out.
I highly doubt that. But for now, we have a 3rd down. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Red Jaber in the slot. Keep your eye on him. Snap. He's looking that way. He's got a man coming back to the ball. Be careful. Intended for Shakuna Kamara. Ill-advised pass. Almost picked off by the Cardinals.
That was defended by number 25, Jeremiah Whitfield. Well-defended pass. That's going to bring up 4th down. This is what Franklin's been dealing with all season long, and you said it. The offense is more of a second-half team. The danger is, well, how long can the defense hold out for the first half?
That looked to be wow. Boy, did Plainfield catch a break there, because a false start penalty, but they did not have Shakuna Kamara covered on the bottom of your screen. He is one of the flankers on the punt team. He was wide open waiting for a pass from their punter. But ill-advised, they're backing up 5 yards, and a punt formation now for the Franklin Warriors. No fake from this side of the field. Now, a high snap, be careful there. Gets an end-over-end punt, not a lot of distance, but plenty of height, and he takes it. Whoa, that's risky. Oh, baby, that's some risk. And he's bottled up by the Franklin special teams, but boy, oh boy, you want to get out of the way of that one.
Absolutely. Jermick Gunning on the tackle, but without risk, there's no reward, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you want to risk that here early in the second quarter, but good field position for the Plainfield Cardinals now, 0-0, 9:16 to go here in the second quarter. Keep in mind the Franklin Warriors deferred to the second half. We're not thinking that yet because we got plenty of football here left to go in the first.
Cardinals coming to the ball.
Here we go. Langston under center, pro form. Running back split. Kind of a bunch formation. I don't know how much creativity you can get from this formation, so they're going to sweep that out with a pitch out to the right. He's going to get about 2.5, 3 yards. That is number 15, Taiwan Taylor.
And guess who I have to call again? Aliu Conte in on that stop. I think I got it right this time.
And I did not get that right this time because that was Demetrius Stevens, number 15, as I forgot to cross that off. Boy, you hope you iron all these mistakes out. For those of you watching right now, be sure to check back with the HSG Network later on tonight for some Major League Football action. The championship game will be brought to you by HSG, and that will be played in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. But we're not there yet. We are here in Plainfield. Langston coming under center. Pro form behind him. Fullback and a running back. And now a little bit of early movement will back him up. I understand trying to get creative, but sometimes you get a little cute, and the mistakes will be plentiful.
You don't want to outsmart your own self when you got things going to your own advantage. That's going to take them to at least 2nd and 13 now.
Second down coming up here, coming to the line. Langston has not been in the shotgun yet, so you would assume that he's more comfortable from under center. He's going to hand that ball off. Nope. Play action pass. He's got a man on a wheel route. That's number 4. That's their Swiss Army knife, as I said that 3 times already today. But now we also have a flag down. That was a beautifully done wheel route. He had a step. If that ball is accurate, that's 6.
But we've seen a lot of overthrowing all game. I'm going to credit that to the wet ball, the wet field. I believe that's definitely contributing to some of the inaccuracies of the passing game that you've seen on both teams. When that ball is wet and they try and throw it, it's sailing on them off the hand.
So an illegal man downfield has been called on legal motion, I'm sorry. An eligible man. So what happens is you got to be careful as linemen. You got to stay put before that ball is thrown. So a couple linemen may be blocking down the field. So either the lineman or the receiver. It could be anybody. If you make contact down the field before the pass is thrown, they're going to flag it every time. So now 3rd down and long. It's going to be 3rd and 13, it looks to me. Big stop coming up for Franklin. Langston will go. This time he'll go on the shotgun. He's got trips down to the bottom of his screen. Plenty of weapons for Langston to work with. Back to pass. He's going to flush himself across the weak side of his body. He's going to shoot it out to number 4. We've called his name a couple times, Justice Williams, but it would be very, very, very short of a first down. So we'll see what they do here at the 37-yard line. It looks to me that they're going to punt this ball back to the Franklin Warriors. Maybe. We'll find out. And it looks to be number 5, Kyle Sparrow, one of their receivers, is also their utility player and their punter.
George Manqua was in on that stop, immediately bringing that play to an end before it could get anywhere. Defense on Franklin still doing the job, needing offense to wake up and start participating.
Plainfield going to try to pin them down deep, and they will. That'll be downed by number 12, Nasir Long. Way to get down there fast to make the Franklin Warriors start their next drive from their own 12-yard line. So, Scott, I mean, we're looking at this game. Both teams have had their offensive possessions. They're trying to iron out the kinks. What are you seeing here from both teams, and why we're still deadlocked here at 0.
Because both teams' defense are absolutely imposing their will on each other. They are making the first stop. They're making the first hit. They're making the first wrap. Offenses have not kicked in yet either way. Yes, the Cardinals had a decent drive, but still, we haven't had anybody break through yet. Whoever breaks through first is going to get control of this game.
Gordon in a shotgun. He's going to hand that ball off to Solomon. Right up the middle, and there's Solomon again. Something to be said about his next level running. Once he hits the hole, he hits the speed burst button, and that's going to be a first down, a gain of 12 for Isaiah Solomon.
Kazurian Casey Roberts on the stop, and just after I said breakthrough, what happened?
You called it, Scott. Last week we pretty much said the same thing. We were saying, who's going to be the first guy to break one? And then Solomon was off to the races. So something they still want to establish here late now in the second quarter is their running game. Gordon coming in to this game, 35 of 81, 432, and 4 touchdowns. So the aerial attack is there. It's just a matter of getting it done. Gordon. Shotgun set. He's going to hand it off to number 8 over to the left side, trying to go off tackle. Couldn't get it all outside. That's Ricardo Folks, and he's brought down after a gain or a loss or actually, you know what? He got back to the line of scrimmage, it looks to me, from up top here.
He was brought down by number 15, Tywan Taylor, along with several of his friends for that loss. Once again, defenses are just really rallying to the ball and making that first hit, first contact, first stop, not giving up any additional yardage after that first hit.
So shotgun set, Gordon. Solomon in the backfield, and it looks to me that a timeout will be used by Franklin Warriors. And we're going to go to break here with 5:54 to go. We are still looking at a 0-0 deadlock tie.
Hi, I'm Josh. Welcome to Fruit Effects, where today we're talking about mangoes. Not only are they good for juggling, they also lower cholesterol, help clear your skin, help with your eyes, and they contain 76% of your daily calcium. So stop by Fruitables today, where you can have a mango topping on any one of your bowls, where your meal is going to not only taste good, but be good for you.
Welcome back to Plainfield, folks. We want to thank you again for checking us out on the HSG Network on Facebook Live. Folks, if for whatever reason your stream gets a little choppy, just hit that reload button. We're experiencing a couple clouds overhead. It could affect the signal, so be sure to check that out and hit that old refresh button to help yourself out, help us out, and, of course, spread the word for your Franklin Warrior. Shotgun set here on 2nd and long. Gordon, low snap. He's going to hand that ball off. That's going to be number 42, John McQuilla, looking for a hole, and he does not find one. He's met by a host of Cardinals at the 30-yard line.
Number 13, Kazurian Casey Roberts. I've called his name a couple of times, but he came in bringing the heat. After a few Cardinals for the first time actually missed some tackles, he came in and just actually knocked him back at least a good yard or two, stopping that run from developing any further.
So 3rd down coming up for Franklin. They got to find something here late in the second quarter. We made mention of it before that Franklin deferred the opening kickoff to the second half, so maybe they want to try to milk a wonderful drive here and try to get some points on the board before half, but they got to get a first down first. Jaber in motion, back flushing over the side of himself. He's going to overthrow Jaber. Something to be said about a play-action pass like that, or when you want to rush out to your left side. That is Gordon flushing out to the weak side of his body, so it's going to be extra difficult to put accuracy on that ball. So something to look at as he goes to the sidelines and tells Coach, hey, listen, can I please roll right? So he can actually get a good throw.
Absolutely. I mean, we got to make it easy for him to at least start with.
Easier, at least.
Easier.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe only 1 or 2 completions this whole game for both teams.
Yeah, so the aerial attack for both teams has not been too lucrative here. But now lined up to punt. Another high snap. Got to be careful. On the pursuit, but an end-over-end kick. A very nice punt. This one will take a bounce. Get out of the way. That's, oh, boy. That is what we do in the business when coaching is yell poison, get out of the way, and that Cardinal player decided he wanted to hang around just a little long.
Yeah, I think Coach is going to have a word or two or 12 with him when he gets to the sideline.
He's got him right now, and you can see it on our screen. Coach is probably telling him, great job, son.
I think that's being translated that way by Howard right now.
Yeah. If you're looking at the subtitles, that's exactly what the coach just told that young man. Next time, get out of Dodge. So the Cardinals will take over on offense. Both defenses playing bend but don't break. They're giving up some yardage here and there, but it's been a punt fest back and forth, a defensive struggle. 0-0 is the score with 4:49 to go. Dave Sturcio up in the booth. Scott Harrell, our producer, Howard Gaber, keeping the lights on at the HSG Network for this stream. We want to thank you guys for tuning in on their Saturday afternoon. Handoff right side, looking for something. Gets about 2 yards. That's 25. That's Jeremiah Whitfield up to off tackle to the right.
Do I have to say his name again?
Yes.
Do I have to say this man's name again? Aliou Conte in on the stop.
I'm going to be Aliu's new spokesman. So every time he gets a tackle, I'm going to call it just to save you and save face, to show your face around Franklin anymore, because, boy, is he going to be very upset.
All I'm saying is he needs an agent at this point because
Aliou.
he's been on every play, it seems.
Last year, as I said, coaching this team, he's a hard worker, boy. He's the first one there, last one to leave kind of guy. Good kid. So here we go. Shot. We're going to get a timeout, I believe. Yep, that's going to be a timeout. We're going to stay here as we have 4:01 to go in the second half. What do the Cardinals have to do to get some points before this half winds down?
Well, we're looking at them trying to drag this drive out to milk the clock, get down to the goal line, see if they can either punch it in or at least get a field goal, because once again, Franklin is going to get the ball to start the second half. And as far as I'm concerned, from what we've seen all season long, if the Cardinals don't get a score, this is playing right into Franklin's hands, because we're almost expecting an entire different offense to come out for Franklin in the second half, because that's what's happened all season long. They go into the locker room, suddenly they wake up, come out, and start racking up the points.
Something to be said about the offensive coaching staff of the Franklin Warriors, and that's offensive coordinator Dominic Amoroso, Coach Amo, is that he will expose the weakness of a defense. And sometimes it does take till halftime to find out what these guys are bringing on the defensive side of the ball. So that remains to be seen, because we still have 4 minutes to go here in the first half or in the second quarter. Second down and 8. He's going to hand that ball off. No, he's not. He's going to tuck it back, throw it himself. Wide open receiver. That's going to be intercepted by Franklin. There's your first turnover of the game, and that is who else but Mr. Kevin Millman.
There it is. We've been calling the Millmans all season long, and we have the first turnover of the game, which we said would be critical. What did Franklin do last week? 5 turnovers, 3 of them interceptions, which was critical in the game for them to win against Elizabeth, a team that came in here and ran up over 50 points on Plainfield.
So both of these teams have been struggling, obviously, in the air attack, and there was an attempted ill-advised throw, a drop, if you will, but it drops into the hands of Millman, who's had himself a fantastic year. So now Gordon in the shotgun, starting this drive at their own 45. Back to pass. He's looking left. He's got a man. He's got a step. He's got a man. He's got a deep going. There he is. Who else? 5-10 to 10-5 touchdown going the wrong way. Who else? But Shakuna Kamara.
Go ahead,
This
say
kid,
it. You know you want to.
Hakuna Matata. That boy, I'm telling you right now, what a phenomenal season. I can't believe I counted him up on the touchdown call, but that is exactly what the Franklin Warriors needed here as we wind down the second quarter. And they know sure as heck that they get that ball in the second half. So this is a very pivotal touchdown here for the Warriors. And now lined up for the extra point to try to make it 7-0. Kick is end over end. It'll just make it over like a foul shot.
Snuck over.
7-0. We're going to go to break. 3:44 to go here in Plainfield. Franklin Warriors got the lead. We are back here at Hubstein Field in Plainfield, New Jersey. The Franklin Warriors striking first, finally, after both sides were struggling to move the ball. Who else but Shakuna Kamara found a seam, and Kayvon Gordon found him open. 7-0 here. Dave Sturcio up in the booth alongside Scott Harrell. HSG Network producer is indeed Howard Gaber. So now they're going to kick this ball back. If you're the Cardinals, you got to wonder what kind. You got to think. You would think that they would try to be a little bit more on the aggressive side with 3:44 to go. But let's not forget, Justice Williams. You said it prior to this. You want to kick it away from this guy because he has been his own highlight reel the entire season. They're going to kick it long and deep, and that'll be taken at the 36-yard line with some blocking. Oh, boy, there's another block. He cuts to the outside. There's going to be a penalty flag. Ooh. And a big tackle there by number 3, and that is Toby Badrew of the Badrew legacy. These boys have been playing football for Franklin for what seems to be 10 years.
You can call Toby a bad man. He just sent him end over end. I'm wondering if one of these flags is for that.
No, this flag was on the return. It's going to be a chop block, or at least a low block, from the receiving Cardinals team. That's going to back them up on a decent return in which the ball was fielded in very good territory. So because of the penalty, it's going to back them up. 3:37 to go. Wow, Toby Badrew. What a hit.
That was an awesome hit. That was an awesome hit. And Badrew, and as you said, the Badrew family have been with this Franklin organization for a long time, just knocking the numbers off players left and right out here.
So now let's find out how aggressive this Plainfield Cardinals team will be with 3:37 to go. They have one timeout remaining. Handoff to the outside off tackle, and that is Justice Williams. And it looks to me like, I guess you can call that an RPO of sorts because he's coming off that position and being handed off, and just as much as that, Langston can pull it back and throw it if he wanted to. So,
but after that last interception, which then turned into a touchdown, you have to think that's hanging in the back of that quarterback's head.
Well, you know what? Unfortunately, in football, you have to have a short-term memory when it comes to making mistakes. Yes, you learn from them, but you can't have them linger in the back of your dome because you have to make adjustments. Now, passing now, caught by number 2 on the outside. That's Daquan Mullings, keeping that ball inbounds as the clock continues to run here, 2:47. And just like that, though, if you realized, it looks like 3rd and 2 here. So if you're Franklin, 2 timeouts remaining. Are you the aggressor here? If you stop them here, you call timeout, you might have one more possession in you before half.
Absolutely. And they've had that deep pass on the corner all game. I try and get that ball back.
Calling over Williams. He's going to hand the ball off. He's going to, oh, wait. And that ball's on the ground, folks. That ball slips out. We're going to wait for the signal. It's going to be recovered by the Cardinals. But now 4th down, you would assume that Coach Peczkowski calls a timeout here, and he does. So just like that, the Franklin Warriors look to get the ball back here with 2:06 remaining. And just like that's a very quick possession. That's not exactly what you draw up here in the booth if you're the Cardinals offensive coordinator.
Absolutely, Dave. You're incredibly right because, the risk of going aggressive is that you kill the clock against yourself. And that's exactly what happened. Now, Franklin's going to get the ball back. They have a chance, very good chance as far as I'm concerned, of scoring again and then getting the ball to start the second half. They could be starting to bury the Cardinals right now if they make this drive into the end zone before the half.
Something to be said about this Cardinals team is that they have not really necessarily been that come-from-behind team. So if you can get ahead of them by halftime up 2 scores and then get the ball back and start dictating your own offense, this could be a cruise control victory for the Warriors if they decide to keep the pedal to the metal, and it starts with this drive right here. But they do have the big strike ability as they have 2 men lined up around the 40-yard line. It'll be good field position regardless, even if they were to fair catch it at that spot. High snap. It's a fake punt or at least an ill-advised. Ooh. Oh, baby, is that a game changer as number 6 on the tackle? That's Noah Smiley Ratliff.
My goodness, that could not have gone worse for Plainfield. I hate to say it, but they tried to come out, do some trickery, do some chicanery, but now you are looking at giving them field position inside the 20-yard line.
I'm not sure if that was trickery or just a little bit of panic on the part of that punter who saw the rush coming and decided to call his own number, but very ill-advised nonetheless. So now the Franklin Warriors take over here on the 19-yard line. 2 minutes to go. We have one timeout on the Franklin side, one timeout for Plainfield left to go. Gordon in a shotgun. He's going to look up, and that's a post route, and that's just not going to happen. That's a flag route, actually, intended for Kamara. Had the right idea, had the one-on-one coverage, but just a little ill-advised on the throw.
He was covered by number 21, Jameer Esau, and I say keep going back to it because more often than not, the receivers have had the advantage on both teams over the coverage. They seem to have always had that extra step on them. Go back to it. Why not?
I mean, if it's one-on-one coverage, I like our chances. There's a couple of guys on the outsides for the Franklin Warriors that could definitely jump for the 50-50 ball. But Kamara, watch your bottom of your screen here. He's lined up on the bottom of your screen to your right. Gordon with an ill-advised snap. Be careful. That's going to be – oh, boy. I think Gordon was able to get on top. It is – you just never – and trust me, I've been there. You never want to be on the bottom of that pile. The things that go on the bottom of that pile are absolutely atrocious. But it will be recovered and marked. That, according to the referees, that's going to be recovered by the Warriors, bringing up third down. But it seems to me that the Cardinals player has the ball in his hand. So
I'm not even sure how that happened, though. If you saw the snap, it's almost like the ball got hung up on the grass or the center's foot or something. It didn't even come all the way back to the QB.
One thing I can say about a play like that is that the referee will make a call on the ground, regardless of the struggle that these guys, they claw each other's eyes out trying to get that ball down there. But it is recovered. It is the third down and long now. So if you're looking for any kind of scoring before the half, you have to get at least half this distance to set up a field goal attempt. But now Gordon in the shotgun, he looks right. He's got his eyes locked right. He's got one-man defense. Red Jaber, that's a touchdown! Wow. Just like that! Lightning quick! Ahmad! Red Jaber! Touchdown!
Someone call 911. That coverage just got smoked on the right side.
So just like that, we said it before. We said it before that this Franklin Warriors team has that quick strike ability, and they show it right there with 52 seconds to go in the first half. And they're trying to extend this lead to 14 points before we hit the halftime break. And we got an early whistle, which obviously if there was no contact, that's an early jump. You got to be careful here because these field goal attempts aren't always the easiest. It's something that we've been focusing on. That's offsides on the defense. And because there was contact, they had to blow the whistle. They couldn't just give them a clear path to mangle the kicker there.
Absolutely.
So you got to be
player
careful.
safety. Player safety.
Absolutely. Got to look at that first. Is player safety. So they're going to leave it at the same spot.
Yeah, they're declining the penalty, it appears.
Yeah, there's nothing to do on that one. So an attempt here, a big extra point. Up and through. We have ourselves. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoa. I mean, the uprights are about 4 feet tall, so you really couldn't tell from my vantage point. So they might want to extend those next year as one of the budget cuts. But regardless, we're going to go to break here. 52 seconds left. It's a 13-0 lead for the Franklin Warriors.
My favorite bowl is probably the Frutella Bowl. It's our most popular bowl, but I like it the most because I like acai. It's not too sweet, and I like Nutella, so whenever I get it, I'm just like, a lot of Nutella, like, put Nutella on that.
If you'd like to learn more about Fruitables, you can visit us at www.fruitables.com. You can also follow us on all of our social media accounts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. We hope to see you guys soon.
Back here at Hupstein Field in, Plainfield, New Jersey, for a Franklin Warriors road game special, as they have themselves a 13-0 lead with 52 seconds to go. Here in the first half, Scott, the big playability strikes again for the Warriors, now sending this one back on the assuming kickoff. And that's a squibber up the middle, and that's a live ball, but he's going to stay on it. and give it to the Cardinals. Now, if you think about it, 52 seconds to go, 51 now as 1 second ticks off. The Cardinals with one timeout, do you really necessarily need to squib that kick off? I mean, now you're putting the Cardinals back on the field on their own 41 or 40-yard line. That's great field position, and 51 seconds in football is a lifetime. So
Absolutely.
I'm not sure about the call there by Coach Pachkowski and company.
I would disagree with it. I feel your defense has been doing great coverage. You should have kicked it further down, but now we're going to see if defense can bring a stop to this drive in this first half.
It's up to Leonte Langston to try to get the Cardinals on the board before half. Back to pass. He's looking left. He pumps left. He's got him on a stop and go. He nailed it. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful throw. What a pass and a pump fake intended for number 22. I'm sorry, 2, Daquan Mullings. But, boy, did he have – what a pump fake. I was faked out. He had him burnt.
Yes, he did.
Unfortunately, that's another ill-advised throw by Langston. He's got to get the accuracy down if he wants to make these plays because the receivers are in position to do it.
Once again, both sides have been overthrowing their receivers all game, and finally Franklin started to connect. If the Cardinals could start connecting, they're going to claw themselves right back into this game. Their receivers have had the step as well.
Back to pass. He finds a short one. It's all about the yards after the catch. He stays in bounds, I believe, but after a first down in high school football, the clock will stop until they set up again. So 36 seconds to go. Hurry up offense. That was caught by number 28. Tyron Taylor.
Oh, sorry. Georgia Manqua in on the stop.
Oh, I put that there. Okay. Oh! So now he's going to be spilled, and does he get out of bounds? He does not. So 23 seconds to go and running. And it looks to me that the Cardinals will use their final timeout with 20 seconds to go and a second down and about 5.5, 6. So we're going to stay here. Scott.
Looked like they were trying to do the old hook and ladder right there. And it unfortunately didn't work for them because they had number 8, Ricardo Folks on Franklin on the defense. Once again, a little bit of razzle-dazzle. Looked like it was about to break wide open for him, but he came in and made the stop. Let's see, 20 seconds to go in the first half. I'm thinking that Franklin is going to make this stop right here.
Got to be aggressive if you're the Cardinals here. I mean, you have to put some points on the board because Franklin's going to get this ball back in the second half. And speaking of halftime, as we come up on halftime with about 20 seconds to go, being that we are the road team, the band did not travel, so we will have no band here. We are going to leave the cameras rolling at midfield, so stay with us. We're going to take about a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back with our second half of football. So stay with us. Leave it streaming. Share it with your friends. We're in for an exciting second half. And while you're on break, if you got the time, head on over to Fruita Bowls, who are bringing this game to you here. So shotgun set for Langston. He does hand it off. Double reverse. It's going to be a double reverse pass to a southpaw who's going to launch it up. One-on-one coverage, 50-50 ball. And that was, oh, no! We got ourselves a penalty, and in high school football, obviously that's going to be still, it's not a spot foul, but it is a 15-yard penalty, and any yards is good yards, are good yards, by the Plainfield Cardinals. So now with 11 seconds and a stopped clock, let's see where they mark this based off of the line of scrimmage. They're going to walk off 15, but boy, oh boy, they took a shot there, a double reverse pass. You haven't seen that since the Little Giants, I'm assuming. But it's one of those things where it's razzle-dazzle. This is the time, I guess. You're 1-5. You're down 13 early. Let's go to the deep end of the playbook and see what can connect. So now, Langston in the shotgun. They're going to have it 1st and 10 on the 30. He's got a man in motion. They're going to do it again. How about back-to-back? 21 now. The southpaw drops it off to number 1, and that's Leonte. That's the quarterback. Wow. Double reverse pass back to the quarterback. I mean, that's the Plainfield special if I've ever seen one. But boy, oh boy, credit to the offensive coordinator because I was completely lost on that one.
Good Lord.
So 5 seconds to go. We're going to look for a 19-yard Hail Mary attempt possibly, if you can call this a Hail Mary from this distance. Or they're bringing in number 71. Look at the size of this boy. This is Astulio Perez Santiago. 6'1", is lined up to kick.
Oh, my goodness.
This guy is bigger than Janikowski, and that is saying something. He is too close. Line up. Snap down. He destroys that ball, but it's got the distance. He does not. As the clock runs out for Plainfield, but what an attempt. I've never seen a bigger kicker in my life.
He put a dent in that ball that's going to stay there.
He is a big boy, and he just came short. So at halftime here, like I said, folks, stay with us. We're going to take about a 10-minute break. It is 13-0 here on the HSG Network as we head to halftime.
Pretty much anything that you get on the menu, you can't go wrong. Everything is healthy and has a bunch of vitamins in it.
We offer 3 types of bowls. We have our acai bowls, which is a berry that we bring in from Brazil, and we blend it together with banana. We have our pitaya bowls, which is a little bit sweeter. It's a dragon fruit, and it's a bright pink color. And then we have our kale bowls, which is kale, banana, pineapple, and almond milk. We also have a variety of smoothies. And if you look at the menu and you don't like certain things, we can take stuff in and out for you, or you can totally start from scratch and build your own bowl.
You can sit on the couch, you can sit up on one of the stools or the high tables, and then you can just kind of like relax and eat your bowl while still being here watching TV and watching other customers enjoy their experience as well.
Hi, I'm Josh. Welcome to FruitaFacts, where today we're talking about mangoes. Not only are they good for juggling, they also lower cholesterol, help clear your skin, help with your eyes, and they contain 76% of your daily calcium. So stop by Fruitables today, where you can have a mango topping on any one of your bowls. Where your meal is going to not only taste good, but be good for you.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we actually are going to
Hey guys, I'm Josh. Welcome to
Plainfield
FruitaFacts.
High School
Today we're talking about
marching band.
This is the Plainfield High School marching band. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for this. you guys know have all been waiting for all season. We present to you Plainfield High School Marching Band Stage.
Hi, I'm Josh. Welcome to Fruitafacts, where today we're talking about mangoes. Not only are they good for juggling, they also lower cholesterol, help clear your skin, help with your eyes, and they contain 76% of your daily calcium. So stop by Fruitables today, where you can have a mango topping on any one of your bowls, where your meal is going to not only taste good, but be good for you. Hey guys, I'm Josh. Welcome to Fruitafacts. Today we're talking about pineapples. Not only does a pineapple make you feel like you're at the beach, it contains vitamin C, which helps develop a stronger immune system. Beta-carotene, which contributes to eye health. The vitamin C in pineapples also helps reduce inflammation and improve skin texture. So stop into your local Fruitables today, have some pineapple as a topping on your bowl, where your bowl is not only going to taste good, it's good for you.
Hi, this is Richard with Fruitafacts. When you train hard, you've got to recover right so you can stay in the game. That's where Fruita comes in. The Muscle Up Bowl has all of your bases covered. With high-quality protein powder and the nutritional powerhouse banana, you can get the fuel you need to get back at it. Stop by Fruita and ask for the Muscle Up so you can not only get a bowl that tastes great, but is great for you.
Welcome back to Hubstein Field here in Plainfield, New Jersey, where the Warriors have a 13-0 lead over the Plainfield Cardinals. Dave Sturcio here in the second half, now joined by the athletic director of your Franklin Warriors athletic department, Ken Margolin. Ken, you like what you see, obviously, on this Road Warrior game?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be up. It's good to be ahead.
It's not many times that the Franklin Warriors have played into the second half with a lead, let alone a commanding lead. 13 points is pretty good on a Plainfield team coming in here at 1-5 as well. So both teams looking to try to make some strides here as we end the season. Talk to me a little bit about what's next for this Franklin Warrior squad.
Well, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, so we got to get through this half.
Oh,
and,
100%.
Hopefully we do positive things.
Yeah.
Then the next game we're away at Hunter and Central, and that'll be a tremendous test. They put a pretty good shellacking on Bridgewater when they played them, and Bridgewater did a nice job against us. So, again, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Coach Petch said we're getting better each week, and I think you can see that from the beginning of the season to now. And, right now we're just taking it down by down.
Talk to me a little bit about the feedback you received from last week's impressive win. I mean, it was something that I said it was shaking in Somerset because that's exactly what it felt like. It felt like the bleachers were rocking. Talk to me a little bit about what you heard or what people said to you after that game because the papers had us written off. I mean, it was if you looked at the spread, which we know it doesn't exist, but they were predicting not a lot of positive things for that Warriors team last week.
No, I agree. Well, they didn't say anything to me because I was down in the Bahamas. So
that's right. You were tuning in on the 100% live, crisp screening of the HSG network worldwide now.
Well, I'll tell you, it was great because I'm sitting there at dinner celebrating my 25th wedding anniversary with my beautiful wife, and at a very nice restaurant. And I have the phone is perched up to my left, and she's sitting to my right. And
that ought to made her happy.
Well, about halfway through the meal, what are you doing? Are you watching your phone? What's going on your phone? And I said, honey, you got to understand what's going on here. They're 4-1. We're winless, and we're playing a great game, and I can't miss it. I gotta see the action. And look, she's been with me for we've been married 25, but we've been together for 40. So
wow.
She knows what she signed on for, and she's great. So she got it. She busted my chops about it, but at the end of the day, she said, I get it. And, your broadcast was amazing. It was awesome. The boys played great. And, Petch is a realist. And he when I came back and I congratulated him, he says, look, that was last week. It was a great win, but we're already on to Plainfield, and we don't get ahead of ourselves. So it was a great win for the program. I was so excited watching it. talking to people when I got back. It's a real morale booster, and it was very much needed. And again, we want to keep the momentum going today, so hopefully we will.
Yeah, I know that there was plenty of viewers last week. The Franklin Booster Club helped us out. They were celebrating their 40 years since 1978. We had a couple guests up in the booth as well. Now, obviously, yes, we don't want to look ahead as far as past the Plainfield Warriors, but Thanksgiving Day, we're going to be live, home. Something to be said about that. Obviously, nothing like Thanksgiving football.
Nah, I mean, it's a tradition. Peeways, they seem to be rocking and rolling right now. They're having a great season. But it never seems to matter what the records are of the two teams when we go into it. It's usually a highly contested battle. It's a very emotional game. I know our boys will be fired up for it, as will theirs. And it's a great environment. So we're glad to be hosting it this year. So we have a tremendous facility. I think that we do a great job, and we're really looking forward to it.
All right. Well, we look forward to broadcasting live on Facebook through the HSG network at Franklin High School on Thanksgiving Day. Ken, thanks so much. Thank you so much for a couple minutes as we are ready and set for the second half of football. Good luck the rest of the way, and obviously to the winter sports coming up.
Yep, thanks. I just want to give a quick shout out to John Quinn, the athletic director here at Plainfield, and his administration and his staff for allowing us to
baby,
to broadcast into live feed, because John has to sign off on those things, and he was very for it, in favor of it, and I'd like to thank him for allowing us the opportunity to do it.
Oh, us at the HSG Network also send our thank yous to him as well. So we start our second half off with a little bit of a surprise onside. Well, at 13-0, Scott, welcome back. At 13-0, with a 1-5 record, maybe you want to try to shock somebody to start the second half. But now it looks to me that Franklin will be starting at midfield. Kayvon Gordon in the shotgun here, up 13-0 to start the second half. Hand off to Solomon, off tackle to the right. He's going to break one. He's got a couple steps, and he's going to try and look at that strength by Solomon. That's leg strength at its finest, spilled at about and finally brought down around the 25-yard line.
I believe that was number 22 in on the stop for Plainfield. 21 in on the stop for Plainfield. Jameer Esau. We've said his name a couple times, but once again, Franklin now is just running downhill. Their offense has come out, and they're coming out roaring for this one.
Kayvon Gordon in the shotgun, split backs, one receiver to the top, Kamara on the bottom of your screen. He's going to hand that ball off again, right up the middle. This time nowhere to go. We'll bring up second down, and now it looks like Plainfield is coming up at the ball here. We're going to wait for the referee's signal, and they're going to call it second down. That's the second time of this game that Plainfield has come out of a pile with the ball and no turnover granted. So you got to make sure you keep your eyes on the referees, because they are calling the shots down there. There will be no extracurriculars after the whistle.
Absolutely. Kyle Sparrow in on that stop. I think basically what happened is they stopped the forward progress and they got the ball afterwards. But Plainfield's not going to be happy about that either.
2nd and 8, handoff back to Solomon, who's looking for a hole. He's got nowhere to go this time. He's bottled up, and it looks to be a loss of one, as 3rd and long will be coming up here for Franklin, up 13-0 here, where this is the first drive of the second half for the Franklin Warriors. A little flub up there.
Melquan Watson along with company in on that stop. Actually, I believe that was number 17 as opposed to number 11. That would be Joshua Cordoba in on that stop, bringing up 3rd and 10.
Speaking of number 11, he just checks in very late for the Plainfield Cardinals on a late substitution. Kayvon Gordon, 3rd and 10. Split backs in the backfield. Back to pass. He got rocked, and they were looking for a stoppage of play before the play even started, but to no avail. And now a 4th and very long decision time. There is a flag on the play. I believe there was no stoppage of the play, so you would have to assume it's on the defense. We're going to wait for the signal here from the official.
I thought it might have been a false start against Franklin.
Well, if that was a false start, they would have blew the penalty dead, but they are going to back them up 5 yards, so there's something. It looks like legal motion, maybe a legal shift on the Franklin Warriors. That'll be a redo down, so if you think about it, that might be a blessing in disguise for the Franklin Warriors, bringing up another chance at 3rd down. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. They're going to legal shift. They're going to decline it, and we're going to go to 4th down. So originally they tried to move the sticks. It would have been a 3rd down over again, but they're going to go for it here. It's a big big decision by Coach Peczkowski and company. He's going to fumble the snap. He's going to go nowhere, and he's going to be sacked. Turnover on downs, and just like that, the momentum has shifted for the Plainfield Cardinals as they take over on downs.
Alan Arnold, number 8 from Plainfield, came in like a ton, sniffed out that muffed snap, and took the quarterback down behind the line of scrimmage. That's just the kind of momentum swing that Plainfield needs right now to get back into this game.
100% accurate there. You never want to turn the ball over on downs, let alone your first drive of the second half. But regardless, the Plainfield Cardinals will take over here with a sort of a bunch formation, pro set, under center. He's going to sweep it out to the right side, trying to find some room. We'll find the out-of-bounds marker, and that's Jeremiah Whitfield on the carry for about a gain of about half of what they needed. Looks like a gain of 5 on the carry.
And did you see who pushed him out of bounds?
Well, that's more than a gain of 5. Sorry, a gain of about 8.
That was Aliou Conte.
Well, you got his name right now. So.
Well, I mean, it only took at least a half.
Right. So here we go, second down and 2. Oh, that's another ill-advised pitch. The ball is loose. It's going to be recovered by Franklin, and the Warriors will take over. But now, wait a minute. After discussion, they will give the ball to the Franklin Warriors on a turnover.
Recovered by number 25, Georgia Manqua, one of your favorite players on that team.
Yeah, you were saying in the pregame, despite the overcast weather, we had some sunshine before, but this is grass. It does stay, a little damper a little longer than your artificial turf. So that ball could have been slick and, slips right out. So another turnover forced by the Franklin Warriors. That's 2 today. And the turnover battle has swung on the side of the Warriors. First down, handoff to Solomon. On an RPO, it looked to me that he could have kept that himself if he wanted to, but a gain of 2 for Solomon, bringing up 2nd and 8.
And that's going to be, Air helping that man up, 52 by Plainfield, and that's Randy Lopez in on the stop, bringing up long yardage once again for Franklin. Franklin's supposed to be a second-half offensive team. They got to get that offense really rolling and start building on the points that they got in the first half if they want to start talking about driving nails into the coffin of Plainfield. 2nd
and about 8. Kayvon Gordon will be in the shotgun where he likes it the most out of all of his offensive formations. He's got split backs for a little bit of protection. Back to pass. He's looking long. He's got a man one-on-one deep. He's got to come back to the ball, and that's going to be a flag. Drags him to the ground. I mean, that was as clear as day. That's going to be a pass interference and a 15-yard penalty for another Franklin Warriors first down.
The only ref that wouldn't have called that would be one by the name of Ray Charles.
He did bring him down pretty. Hey, but you know what? Sometimes when it comes to a long gainer like that, that would have been a gain of 20, 25 yards. If you know you got no shot, drag him down. It's high school football, so it's only 15 yards as opposed to a possible touchdown. So you got to think that the defender was thinking a little bit at least to make sure that this ball didn't go for 6.
And Franklin's been the team that's been starting to make that connection through the air. So your secondary, they're definitely – I don't want to say running scared, but they've been getting burned so far today.
Kamara on the bottom of your screen, shotgun set. He's going to hand that ball off tackle. Ooh. Boy, did he run over somebody. He hit the truck stick on that one, folks. Good Lord.
That's number 8 who paid the price for becoming the speed bump right there. That's Alan Arnold, who was first in on the stop, or at least slow down, we'll call that.
Solomon on the carry like a bowling ball, knocking over the pins. And now it brings up a 2nd and about 7 for the Franklin Warriors. Kayvon Gordon in the shotgun with Solomon in the backfield. Another running back to his right, 2 receivers to the top. He's going to hand that ball back off to Solomon up the middle. He's going to find a lane and get through and slice and dice his way to about the 8-yard line. Is Isaiah Solomon. So something you can do when you have a 13-point lead is establish your run game even more than it's already been established. And they have a guy, a formidable guy, in Isaiah Solomon to get the job done.
Absolutely. We've seen his work, his body of work all season long, and he's just been racking up the points. Solomon, If I'm not mistaken, he has over 400 yards, and he's the leading TD carrier for rushes this season with 4.
Shotgun set, first down now. Hand off to Solomon, up the middle, looking for blocking. That offensive line has been doing a great job up front, giving Solomon some yards before even making contact.
Now we got number 52 in on the stop. That's Randy Lopez once again. Franklin is just driving their way forward relentlessly, looking at a 2nd and goal now. Plainfield's got to come up with some way, somehow, to try and bring this drive to an end. Another Franklin score, and it's definitely going to be an uphill battle for the Cardinals.
So 2nd and goal now. Kayvon in the shotgun. He's going to hand the ball off to Solomon. Looking for green pastures. Touchdown, Isaiah Solomon.
Right up the middle. And we do have a Cardinal player down at the 5-yard line, but he's all right. He gets back up. But that hole was wide enough to drive a truck through, and Solomon was in the driver's seat all the way to the end zone.
So a 19-0 lead here for the Franklin Warriors. This is very unfamiliar territory for a team that's 1-5. Shocking the state last year with their win over Elizabeth, but now a commanding 19-0, looking for 20 here on the extra point. Snap, hold, down, set up, and looks to me that it's good. It is 20-0. The Franklin Warriors, 6:57 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Pretty much anything that you get on the menu, you can't go wrong. Everything is healthy and has a bunch of vitamins in it.
We offer 3 types of bowls. We have our acai bowls, which is a berry that we bring in from Brazil, and we blend it together with banana. We have our pitaya bowls, which is a little bit sweeter. It's a dragon fruit, and it's a bright pink color. And then we have our kale bowls, which is kale, banana, pineapple, and almond milk. We also have a variety of smoothies. And if you look at the menu and you don't like certain things, we can take stuff in and out for you, or you can totally start from scratch and build your own bowl.
You can sit on the couch, you can sit up on one of the stools or the high tables, and then you can just kind of relax and eat your bowl while still being here watching TV and watching other customers enjoy their experience as well.
We are back here, Hubstein Field, Plainfield, New Jersey, where the Franklin Warriors now have a commanding 20-0 lead over the Plainfield Cardinals here on the HSG Network. Dave Sturcio alongside Scott Harrell, and of course our producer of the HSG Network, Howard Gaber, on the controls, making sure your stream is up and running. But if it's not, because of the weather, you might want to hit the refresh button, and you'll get yourself a crystal clear picture. 6:57 to go here. Franklin Warriors now with a lead. A commanding lead. They're going to kick this ball away, and nope, they're going to kick it. They're going to squib it. They're going to keep it away from that weapon on the return game. And number 5 on the return, that is Kyle Sparrow, one of the up men, taking it, and they're going to start around, looking for a spot. The 41-yard line is where Plainfield will take over. So if you're Plainfield, Scott, what do you got to do to either A, keep your boys in this game mentally, being down 20-0, and B, get something going on offense, because they really haven't done much?
I would say creativity and aggressiveness. You can't shy away from the game for what it is. We saw that towards the end of the first half. Don't go away from it. You have talent on your team. They just have to put a drive together consistently. Keep going to the air. You have players that have been beating them. If you could just hook up on 1 or 2 of those plays, you could have something straight to the house.
Langston now lines up over center. He's got his running back very tight right behind him, but this could be some trickery. That's going to be probably a legal motion, to be honest with you, but we're going to get a stoppage here around about a gain of 1, and that was Justice Williams on the carry on the pitch, but I think he might have been leaning towards the line of scrimmage, which might be the penalty. It is. It's a legal motion. What you can't be doing is, it's one thing to come in motion, but you can't be leaning towards the line of scrimmage. And it looks to me that we're seeing that there was 2 men moving at the same time. Can't do that. 5-yard penalty will bring up another attempt at first down. This time a little longer, 1st and 15.
You're working against yourself. You got the scoreboard against you. You got Franklin's defense firing on all cylinders. You can't now be your own worst enemy on the field when you're down by 20 points.
So now Plainfield will line up first and about 15, 6:39 and counting to go on your screen. Langston Under center, man in motion. That's Justice Williams again. This time he's going to look for somewhere and big tackle. He collapsed fast on him. What a stop by himself. Solo tackle to the stat sheet.
Zaire Ross Hester with the stop, planting him, straight in the ground. My goodness, this Franklin defense is playing at a level that I would say is even higher than when they played against Elizabeth last week. It's unbelievable what we're seeing right now.
Last week the story was bend but don't break, and they did give up a lot of big plays last week, but they kept it enough to get the W. Here today, they are doing work on defense. So let's see if they can keep that up as Langston lines up under center, second down and about 16 after a loss of 1. Williams in motion. They're going to fake the pitch out. He's going to roll to his right. He's got a man right over the middle, and that's number 5 on the catch. That's Kyle Sparrow. Good route by the receiver. It seemed to me that he was on the same page as Langston on the rollout, and that's just an easy pitch and catch. I mean, that was a nice play by the Plainfield Cardinals offense.
Excellent play. Kevin Millman on the stop, but this is what I was talking about before. They do have the opportunities that are out there. They just have to connect with them. They shouldn't go away from them. Keep trying. They're going to find their way into the end zone if they keep it up.
Langston in the shotgun now. He's going to look to his right. He's going to find his receiver, and that's an easy pitch and catch again. That is number 2, Daquan Mullings on the reception.
And being defended by Ali Ukante, he was able to chase him out of bounds to make sure that he didn't get any more yardage or a first down. That'll bring up second and about 4 for the Cardinals.
A gain of 6 on the pitch and catch. Easy play for this Cardinals offense, trying to get something going as Langston comes over center. Running back to his backfield, he calls for motion. Now he gets it. Justice Williams in motion. They're going to hand it off to the fullback, who's got nowhere to go, but a good idea as the whole defensive side was looking at Justice, and that was number 13, Kazarian, Casey Roberts.
And on the stop was number 54, Namdi James of Franklin. First time we've called his name today, but that whole defensive line unit has been working as one man today so far, making the stops that they've been making. Third and 1, Dave.
Third and 1, third and short. He's going to call his own number, trying to get the first down. He ran into a wall, and I don't know if they're going to – well, the referee across the field looks to be trying to make a spot, and if he gets the spot the referee is giving him, that's going to be a first down, but we'll find out.
Looks like Namdi was in on that stop once again.
They will give him a first down, so another first down for the Plainfield Cardinals, and this is definitely their best drive of this game.
I would have to agree with you, Dave. This is their opportunity to really start getting their way down to the red zone, get into the end zone, and if they could build off of that, they could potentially claw their way back into this game going into the fourth quarter.
3:39 to go in the third quarter and running. Langston in the shotgun now. One receiver to the top of your screen, one on the bottom. He's going to look his way to the left. He's got a step on Millman, and that will be caught by number 5, Kyle Sparrow, who's been having his way with the secondary here on this drive.
Defended by Millman. Millman was able to save a first down right there by making the stop and wrapping up. But this is where towards the end of the first half, the Franklin defense, they were making the stops, but they were allowing yardage. Now we're seeing that again and again. They're going to start getting tired before too long like they did in the first half.
The yardage is starting to add up. Langston now under center, hands the ball off right up the middle, looking off tackle. Watch out for the strip. They're trying to strip the ball, but this boy keeps his legs turning. And boy, oh boy, that was number 13, Kazarian, Casey Roberts. What a hard run.
And stopped by number 57, Christopher Donald, and everyone else.
The entire Franklin Warriors defense decided to collapse on that one as the clock will run. 2:44 to go here in the third quarter. First down. And there's about a fourth, I believe that's a fourth first down on this drive alone, maybe even the fifth. But the Cardinals are on the move. Langston in the shotgun, one receiver to the top of your screen, one on the bottom. He's going to look to the bottom of your screen to your right. A nice catch and run to the outside. They are piecing together this drive, as that is Daquan Mullings with another reception on this drive in particular.
Pushed out by Aliyu once again.
Aliyu!
Pushed out by Aliyu Conte once again. You know, I hope he doesn't try and find me after the game.
I hope he does.
But you know what? This is the best drive, as you have said, that Plainfield has put together all day. And so far, if I'm not mistaken, being at the 15-yard line, I think the closest they are to the end zone.
They've definitely put it together here in the second half as it ticks away to 21 to go as a handoff up the middle off tackle. And that looks to be Casey Roberts again. And look at that. The wheels just keep on turning. These guys are not giving up after hitting, after first connection. And now, wait a minute. We're going to give the ball to Franklin.
Goodness.
25 on the recovery. That is indeed George Amankwa. Wow. It looked like the ball was coming out. We don't have the replay here, but that ball might have slipped out. And that's another turnover on the best drive that Plainfield has had all day long.
That could be a backbreaker right there. That is what Franklin did to Elizabeth all game last week. It was turnover after turnover after turnover, fumble recovery and interception. Franklin is really capitalizing on these turnovers, and that's what's making their defense really come to play.
So Kayvon Gordon in the shotgun now. 2:08 to go here in the third quarter. We are live here on Facebook Live, brought to you by Fruita Bowls, and looks like we're going to get a little bit of a penalty. Looks like maybe some motion, a little bit of motion before the snap. Dead ball foul. That is a false start on the Warriors.
That's going to put them in the shadow of their own goalpost. This will be the time for Plainfield to pin their ears back, send a full house blitz. Try and push them back into their own end zone, maybe even get a safety. You can't go conservative here.
Kayvon Gordon will be taking this snap in the shotgun on his own goal line. He's going to hand the ball off the middle, and that looks to be Solomon, I believe, who's been very effective on the ground again for the umpteenth straight week. This kid is having himself a phenomenal year in closing in close to 400 to 500 yards on the ground for this kid. He's done something special this year for the Franklin Warriors.
And that was Nazir, number 12, Nazir Long on the stop. But like you said, Solomon has just been insane with his playmaking ability.
We're talking about Solomon as he gets the handoff again, cuts to the outside. He's going to be looking for blockers. Solomon with some room here, falls down on his own, trying to make the cut, will be spilled at the 18. We talk about Isaiah Solomon. He was NJ.com's Player of the Week last week. He had himself a day against Elizabeth, securing that first win of the season for the Franklin Warriors. So now third down coming up. This is one of those drives you want to milk some clock. There's about a minute to go.
Taywan Taylor was in on that stop, but I believe the credit would go more towards the turf than anyone else.
This is must 3-and-out territory for this Plainfield team. They're going to hand the ball off. He's going to be tripped up in the backfield. Nowhere to go. It's a big tackle, group tackle by Plainfield. Sets up fourth down, and Plainfield will get the ball back in a much, much needed 3-and-out.
Kyle Sparrow knifing in, getting that stop in the backfield. It's going to bring up a punt situation. Definitely Plainfield needed that defensive stop right there.
The only thing I could say as a loss for the Plainfield is field position and some time, but they're going to get the ball back, and they had the recipe cooking up on their offensive side of the ball finally, and they're going to get this ball in decent territory. Heads up, it's blocked, and that ball is going to sail out of the back of the end zone for a safety.
Wow.
You talk about a game changer, folks, and that is exactly what they needed. What a forceful block. That was number 5, I believe, Kyle Sparrow.
Sparrow's the one who made the stop on the previous play, bringing up that fourth down punt. Johnny on the spot making the block. He's been all over this game, trying to write his name and Plainfield's name up on that scoreboard. They finally got
it.
It
was only a matter of time. There's been a couple punts where they were an inch or two away from a block, and finally, being that it was in the shadow of their own end zone, not a lot of real estate behind them, and there was the pursuit, and now we have ourselves an 18-point lead with probably about one more realistic play here in the third quarter. So you're going to have one more quarter to put together some kind of another stop or two, and the offense, which obviously has been coming alive more in the second half, for this Plainfield Cardinals team, we got ourselves a ball game.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Plainfield has the weapons, has the tools, and we're still waiting to see Justin Williams, who has 7 touchdowns on kickoff return.
It's funny you say that because now, because of the safety, this is going to be a free punt from the 20-yard line. So if anybody's going to be licking his lips,
oh my goodness,
for a chance to make a play,
oh my goodness,
it might be Justice Williams, who's right now lined up as an up man. So he's not even in the position, but you know what? He might be premeditating a shorter kick.
I would agree with you on that.
So that's something that they're sending from above. They're saying, okay, here's where he usually kicks it off from and how distance. But now this is going to be a kickoff, not a punt. I'm sorry, I stand corrected. It is their choice, so they obviously have a kicker who's got a better leg when it's on a tee rather than try to punt that ball straight in the air. So you want to put as much force behind this one, and you want to kick it, if you're the Warriors, to the right side of the field because on the bottom of your screen is indeed Justice Williams. And he does kick the life out of that ball. He tries to. It's going to be taken at their own 40. Looking for blocking. He's going to cut it outside. He has a couple lanes if he gets it outside. And now a flag will be coming in at the very end. That's number 21 on the return, Jameer Esau. But we're going to find out what the flag is.
Number 8, Ricardo Folks on the stop. I didn't see anything for a flag worthy of the stop, but we got to see what this call is.
I mean, the only thing I can say is that maybe he got his hand up in his face mask, but it looks to be on Franklin, which will be very costly if it's a personal foul. We're looking at 15, and indeed it is. Face mask on the tackle. That's a big, big penalty on the Franklin Warriors because that gives the Plainfield Cardinals phenomenal field position to start this drive, which I believe –
I don't put them inside the 30 almost.
Because of the return, they might want to look at the clock because they might want to also shift it to the other side of the field. This is going to be an ill-advised walk. I guess you can't. It's very true. You can't end on a penalty if I stand corrected on that one. So there will be an untimed down. I believe. I don't know if that was 7 seconds, to be quite honest with you. But we're going to find out as they're looking at the clock. We have a very vocal offensive lineman right now as Langston in the shotgun, waiting for the snap. He's going to look to his right, rolling right. He's going to call his own number with a decent blocking scheme in front of him. And that was the untimed down, as that should be the end of the third quarter. So we are 3 quarters in the books. The Franklin Warriors now 20. The Plainfield Cardinals 2. We're coming back for the final chapter of this battle.
Hi, I'm Josh. Welcome to Fruitafacts, where today we're talking about mangoes. Not only are they good for juggling, they also lower cholesterol, help clear your skin, help with your eyes, and they contain 76% of your daily calcium. So stop by Fruitables today, where you can have a mango topping on any one of your bowls, where your meal is going to not only taste good, but be good for you.
We are back here at Hupstein Field, Plainfield, New Jersey, where your Franklin Warriors have a 20-2 lead heading into the fourth quarter. Dave Sturcio up in the booth here in Plainfield for a road game. Standing right next to him, one of the better color guys in the business, Scott Harrell, and, of course, our producer, Howard Gaber, bringing this game to you, sponsored by Fruitables here today on Facebook Live. If you're watching, which I know a couple of you people are, watching your kids out there, supporting your Franklin Warriors, do me a favor, hit the share button so we can spread the word and get all your colleges to focus on your kids because they want to see a couple highlight reel worthy plays. So here we go, second down now and 8. We're going to get motion. They're going to hand that ball off. It's going to be a double reverse pass. Look to me, they have it blocked. 21 is scrambling. There's going to be a holding call. He's going to throw that ball away.
Wow.
And it will be incomplete. That's 21, Jameer Esau, who was
number 11 on the stop, Deshaun Park.
Oh, again.
Number 11 on the stop, Deshaun Parks Clark from Franklin. That's about the third time we've seen that play today, Dave. I'm going to tell you what, if nothing else, you can definitely say Plainfield is not being conservative. They're going as deep as they can into their playbook, and I give them credit for it because they have the talent on their team, and they're going to do everything they can to get into that end zone.
So now 2nd down. That's a long, long penalty. Spot foul. So it's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the attempted throw. So that's a big, big loss by Plainfield. Their 1st down marker is listed now at the 21-yard line. This play will be taken from the 49. So 2nd and a country mile for Langston to try to move his team down the field. Justice Williams in motion. He's going to swing it maybe. That's going to be caught. Nice catch there by number 21. That is Jameer Esau on the design screen, it looked to be, for about a gain of about 2, setting up 3rd and about 80, according to what we're looking at now. 3rd down and very long here, so you got to wonder, down 20-2, Scott, 11:25 to go, not many possessions left. This is automatic 4-down territory.
Oh, absolutely, without question. You got to take it to the air. You got to go deep. You got to get everything you can out of every single play, and you have to keep drives alive.
So officially 3rd and 27 here. So you look to maybe at least get half of this to make it more manageable on a 4th down. Trips to the bottom of your screen, back to pass. He's going to flush on the weak side of his body. He's going to send it on over to Justice Williams, who's going to break 1 tackle, break 2 tackles, try to keep his legs churning, and he dragged out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. A very good catch and run sets up a more manageable 4th down.
Zaire Ross Hester, number 18, the one finally making the stop, bringing up 4th and about 14 for the Cardinals. That was the first time today I've seen Franklin miss on tackles.
Right.
Do the arm tackle as if they're getting a little tired. The Cardinals have to take advantage of that for everything it's worth.
Well, every drive is pivotal now for the Cardinals, down 20-2 with 10:53 to go here in the 4th quarter. 4th and long on a must-convert. They're going to fake it. What a nice shuffle of the ball. And that's going to be, tipped and dropped, but that will be a turnover on downs. Franklin Warriors to take over on downs. That is now 2 for 2 on 4th down stops for the Franklin Warriors defense. Good job.
Nearly intercepted by number 11, Deshaun Parks Clark, but it was better that it was dropped than intercepted.
Yeah, field position-wise, yes.
Absolutely. You know, it's almost impossible as a cornerback to get in your mind, don't catch it, don't intercept it, because you're going to get the ball in a better position. So it's good that he actually dropped that one.
So the Franklin Warriors take over here at the 34-yard line. 10:47 to go here in the 4th quarter. We want to thank you guys again for joining us on Facebook Live, courtesy of the HSG Network and Fruita Bowls. Hand off to Solomon. He's going to get about 2 yards and a gang tackle. They're going to give him forward progression, gain of about 2 for Solomon.
Number 5 in on the initial stop, Kyle Sparrow. He's been all over the place on this game today with the punt block, and the stop before that, and now this stop, he at least slowed Solomon down to let all of his friends get in for the tackle.
Checking into the game now, and I believe he's calling the play, is Ahmad Red Jaber. Keep your eye on that. And that is indeed what's happening, up 20-2. Ahmad Jaber in at quarterback here. He's a southpaw. So keep that in mind as he hands that ball off to Donnell McQuilla, cutting outside, trying to find some pastures to the outside, and will, as it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 4, a nice hard run by McQuilla.
Because he was trying to find those pastures out on the outside, but he found number 11, Melquan Watson, waiting for him there, bringing that run to a quick end.
Now, is this a 20-2 substitution, or is there something wrong with Kayvon Gordon? So keep your eyes on that story as it develops, because we are still 9 minutes away from game time here. Ahmad Red Jaber gets the snap. He's going to hand that ball off back. He's going to try to cut it outside. He finds a hole, and that's all he'll find as he trips up on his own 2 feet, it seemed. Donnell McQuilla, another hard run as they try to milk this clock down.
Finally touched down by Kazurian Casey Roberts, number 13 of the Cardinals, but not before a Franklin 1st down.
So Jaber looks to be the quarterback here again. He is the senior, so you want to assume that he's going to get a couple reps here. As we're coming up to the last couple games of his high school football career, you would think they want to give him a couple opportunities, couple reps to make some plays. He's going to hand that ball off to Solomon, who's going right up the gut. And like I said, that offensive line all game has been getting decent push. Maybe not so much this time as they give him forward progression for about a gain of 2.
Now, Dave, what it looks like to me, Kayvon Gordon, he's up, he's on his feet, he's got his helmet off. I think they're just calling him done for the day with the score the way it is, but he's standing next to the coaching staff with his helmet off. He looks good to go.
All right, well, that's a good sign. As I said, they're probably giving Jaber a couple nice reps here. Again, senior, as they zoom in on the sidelines, Gordon admiring his backup quarterback, who is also one of the better slot receivers on this team, is Ahmad Red Jaber, senior here at Franklin High School, trying to get a couple reps as he hands the ball off again up the middle to Isaiah Solomon as the clock again melts away as we're closing in on 8 minutes to go from what is looking to be, for the first time in, boy, I can't even tell you, back-to-back wins for the Franklin Warriors. That is big news in Somerset, and I understand that, you know, their record will improve if they're able to close this one out to 2-5. So obviously, yes, you look at the standings and you're like, oh, it's 2-5. It's a big 2-5 because when you start off 0-5, Scott,
absolutely,
and you rattle off 2 wins coming into the later part of your season with 2 official games to go, it's a lot of momentum heading on into the 2019 campaign. But we're not there yet. 7:27 to go. Shotgun snap. He's going to hand that ball off up the middle again. Nowhere to go on third down. And that is number 42 again, Donnell McQuilla on the carry, also getting some reps.
Nasir Long on the stop, but we do have a Cardinal down.
We have a couple
on the
Cardinals
field.
down.
And we got 2 Cardinals down, but that said, like you were saying, you know, back-to-back wins sounds good, feels even better. But what this also proves for the Franklin team, in my opinion, Dave, and you coached it, so you can speak to this a little bit. You know, last week's game could have been taken by the team as their playoff moment and then come in and have a letdown game here. However, they came in and showed the discipline to build on what they did last week to come in and now command a game. They won, but it could almost be argued that they also escaped with a win last week.
Right.
This win, they came in and they started to command this game early, and they are commanding it all the way through.
Yeah, we were talking to Ken Margolin as soon as this second half kicked off, and he was saying, you know, I asked him what the feedback was based off last week, and he said, you know, we went to Coach Pechkowski, we, you know, congratulated him, and he just almost didn't want to hear it. He said, that's great, but guess what? All eyes on Plainfield now as we head to the road. So it's something to be said about this coaching staff in their second year under this regime. It's Coach Pechkowski, it's, you know, it's Coach Amoroso, Coach Ammo. You know, the special teams got Mohammed El Shabini, and then running down the list of other assistants for this team, Tom Farley, Dan Ioza, Rocco Dragonetti, Anthony Messner. The volunteer coaches, Alan Jackson, Dave Malatesta, and, of course, we talked to Ken Margolin, the athletic director, earlier today, and assisting a couple of the injured players right now are the Franklin Warriors training staff, and that is Anthony Brito, Matthew Elmeyer, and Michael Campbell. When looking at the other side of the ball field, head coach of the Plainfield Cardinals, Corey Tucker, the assistants, Bill Nyers. I wonder if that's Bill Nyers from Woodbridge High School. I would have to double-check on that one because he coached me. Ronald James, it is him. Okay, I'm getting word that I have to go say hello to my old coach. Angelo Marago, Jay Felton, Sean Huggins, Kelvin Williams, the freshman head coach. I want to give a shout-out to those guys as well. Reginald Clark, Jared Plasko, William Dodd. The trainers, Veronica Pagel, and Chad Vigneault. So now we have a punt formation here, 4th down. They're going to let the clock run down as long as possible. Plainfield Cardinals licking their chops right now, trying to get another blocked punt to set up good field position. And now they're going to take a delay penalty. So Coach Pechkowski allows not to burn any timeouts. He wants to take it all the way down, literally to the last second. Takes the penalty, backs him up 5, and we'll get another attempted punt by the Franklin Warriors. No real rhyme or reason behind that. It's just one of those things where he'd rather have 0 seconds on the clock rather than 1. So the field position game is what it is. So now Punt formation. Good snap this time. Decent pursuit, but this time he's going to get it off. It's a nice – get out the way, son. He almost did it again. And if I'm not mistaken, that individual, number 34.
Oh, yes.
Number 34 again, who will remain nameless. We will not throw him under the bus. But he's going over to the coach right now and saying, see, coach, I listened. And the coach gives him the old tap on the head to make sure, like, I told you, and you just didn't want to feel my wrath again.
That is the conversation that's happening on the sideline right now.
We call those teaching moments in the coaching game.
Yes.
So that is a teaching moment. He said, first time, get out of Dodge. Second time, you better stay out of Dodge. So looks to me that in the shotgun will be Langston. Down 18 here, 6:32 to go. The Plainfield Cardinals trying to spark some life into this drive. Shotgun set. It's taken by the quarterback. He's looking long over the middle. He's got number 2, and he drops the ball intended for Daquan Mullings, and he had some green in front of him.
He had daylight for days. That was a touchdown run right there.
That would have been a beautiful yards after catch and run for a touchdown. But you know what? Not for nothing. It could be I was going to blame it on the sun, but it's behind him. So I almost could blame it on that. But look.
The shade was in his eyes.
Yeah, either way. I mean, you got to come down with that one. But, again, ill-advised. The throw was there. And maybe they exposed the matchup, it's something that you want to keep your eye on the second down. If he has a step on that cornerback, why not try it again?
For both teams, that pass has been there. It's Franklin that's managed to hook it up. The Cardinals have been looking to hook it up all day, and they just haven't made that connection.
Franklin showing blitz here, and now turning around. You live by the blitz, you might die by the blitz, but this time a good tackle. No, missed tackle, but there is. Who else? Kevin Millman with an own. He really did make it his own on that one. A nice solo tackle for the stat sheet for Millman.
Absolutely. I was just about to call out his number, but he did an excellent job bringing that to an end.
Look at this. Can't get the guys set. We'll wait for the call. Looks to be a false start. We'll wait. Dead ball foul, false start. Now, something to be said about that was the first time they went no huddle. So, again, it's something you want to change up right now. That's fine because you're changing it up because there's 6:02 to go, and you really got to get, pedal to the metal here, folks. They had the right idea, and now a quick pass over the middle, caught. Oh, boy. That was Justice Williams on the catch, and if I'm not mistaken, he looked to almost lateral that to anybody that would hear him.
All he had to do was lean forward, and he would have got the first down.
The hurry-up offense, and now they're going for the 4th down. Oh, boy, this is going to be close. It looks like he got it according to the referees on the far side of the field. Oh, I don't know about this, folks. I mean,
the spots have been a point of contention all day.
It's a first down according to the referees. That is big. They're going to line it up now in the hurry-up offense. They can reset. The clock will reset. And it will start running. They are anxious, folks. They're anxious. Plainfield Cardinals are moving the ball. Quick throw, quick catch. Number 5. Good. No tackle there. They got to wrap up. That was Kyle Sparrow, who's been the highlight reel receiver for this Plainfield Cardinals team here today on this Saturday afternoon matinee special in Plainfield.
Alan Bello on the stop, but not before another Cardinal first down. Cardinals have gotten this hurry-up moving now.
Back to pass again is Langston. He's going to look long. He's got a step, and there's a flag down. But, something to be said, he did get involved. That might be a hold, so you got to wonder if it's interference or holding. And it looks to me that he just grabbed him just a little bit farther. It's going to be a pass interference call, which is a relatively gift on that one. It looked to me that there was a little bit of a hold, but a pass interference, 15 yards. Now, you got to wonder. I understand 20-2. You're playing a little bit of a fluff defense here, The only thing the prevent defense does is prevent you from winning. I've always said that my entire life, so you gotta be careful.
You have to play the defense you started with, regardless of the score. You don't want to give anything away.
So back to pass, and this time over the middle, nobody home as he rushed the throw, bringing up now 2nd down.
That pass could have almost been picked off by number 25, George Amenkwa. They have to be, on one hand, I get the hurry up. I understand that they want to go out there and get down the field quick, but they have to be careful with these passes. One has been picked off already today.
So, second down. Langston will be in the shotgun. He's got quads. 2 receivers top, 2 receivers bottom. Plenty of receivers here. He's looking up. He's got a step. A man. No contact. Good no call there by the official. And that'll bring up a third down. Good coverage by the defense. One-on-one towards the bottom of your screen.
And that defender is number, let's see here. I'm trying to get who. Okay.
That's okay. We're on to the next play.
That was Millman.
Yeah, it was.
Nope. 11.
Oh, high snap. Be careful. He's going to flush this one out. He's going to dump it off to his right. He's got green pastures in front of him. He's going to try to get second effort. It's going to bring up a 4th and 1, but good effort there.
Excellent effort. Excellent run. Number 18 on the stop, Zaire Ross Hester. But it's going to bring up a 4th down.
It is 4th down and a hurry-up offense. I don't know. You might want to take your time. He's got to make sure, flushing to the weak side of his body. He's got a man. He's got a step. Whoa! Woo! And that is how you're greeted by, again, Deshaun Parks Clark. My goodness. But the catch and run by number 21, and that's Jameer Esau. But a first down, 4:42 to go. They're going to reset. This will be snapped around the 5-yard line. So not a lot of real estate to run your routes, and that is not what you need. And that's a high snap, and that'll bring up a second and very long. Now's not the time for any ill-advised snaps. But nothing you could do about it there but reset. And it looks to me it'll be a stoppage in play and a timeout by the Warriors. So we're going to go to break here. 4:28 to go. The Warriors hanging on to an 18-point lead.
Hey guys, I'm Josh. Welcome to FruitaFacts. Today we're talking about pineapples. Not only does a pineapple make you feel like you're at the beach, it contains vitamin C, which helps develop a stronger immune system. Beta-carotene, which contributes to eye health. The vitamin C in pineapples also helps reduce inflammation and improve skin texture. So stop into your local Fruitables today, have some pineapple as a topping on your bowl, where your bowl is not only going to taste good, it's good for you.
4:28 here to go. We are at Hupstein Field in Plainfield, New Jersey. Dave Sturchio next to Scott Harrell on the HSG Network. And, of course, our producer, Howard Gaber, giving you all these Fruitables commercials because that is the sponsor of our game here today. The 1-5 Plainfield Cardinals taking on the 1-5 Franklin Warriors, one of these teams looking for their second win. And if Franklin is able to hold on, we were talking about it before, this will indeed be their second win in a row. And I can't remember the last time that happened. So here we go. Second down and very long. Another high snap, and that's going to be a hold, maybe. Not called. He's got a man, but it's going to be intercepted. Ooh. Intercepted at the goal line. He's going to take it. 20-yard line, and he's spilled. What a phenomenal center field type play by number 25, and that's George Amankwa. So we're going to wind up finding out about the penalty, but a great play by the free safety. Like I said, I love nothing better than when a free safety can drop back and kind of play center field, kind of analyze the entire scheme and everybody's routes. And he just had it at the right position, right place, right time. Good interception. Another turnover, possibly, as we wait for the flag, which is either after the interception or before it. We'll find out as they converse. It's going to be a hold on the defense. Now, was this after or is this before? They're calling it before. The defense is going to come back out onto the field. Wow, that's a heartbreaker for.
That's huge right there.
I mean, 10 yards and an automatic first down will the Plainfield Cardinals have here with 4:17 to go, down 20-2.
And plus, on top of that, Dave, I feel a large reason why that interception happened was because of the pressure on the quarterback that Franklin's been getting. They've been doing much better with that this second half.
And they're doing this without McDonald, one of their premier pass rushers who was listed as out for this game, who had a phenomenal game last week. Back to passes Langston. Again, pressure from the left side. Ill-advised throw to Justice Williams there to bring up a third down now. So that was not an automatic first down. It was a redo of the second down. So it's bringing up third down.
And we're looking at third and
goal.
And goal.
Yeah, so this is obviously 4-down territory for the Plainfield Cardinals. Down 18 with 4:13 to go. Let's see what they dial up from upstairs. Something to be said for this Franklin Warriors defense is that they have been playing a little off the ball. It hasn't been really bump and run on the outsides, which has given this Cardinals team a lot of free space to make plays.
That they have, and they haven't been shy going deep into the playbook either, Dave. I wouldn't be shocked if we see another double reverse, handoff pass, Plainfield special that they've been serving up all game long.
Now they're going to check the downs real quick to make sure they're accurate. It is indeed third down as they redid the second down and only ran one play. So this brings up third and goal. Langston in the shotgun. Press coverage on the top of your screen and bottom of your screen. And now another fumble. That will be recovered by the Plainfield Cardinals, and he just can't seem to get the snap down in the shotgun. And I said it before, it seemed that Langston was definitely more comfortable under center, but when you're looking for more time to buy, you're going to have to go from the shotgun, and it just doesn't seem like he's very comfortable back there as he's got 4 receivers now spread out. This is basically the last chance for the Cardinals to compete in this game. Snap is down. The pursuit is there. Langston looking. He's got a man. He got a catch. He's got a go. He's got a fumble. Are you kidding me? And guess who's there?
Oh, my goodness.
Mr. Reliable Kevin Millman will recover the fumble, and a heartbreaker
right at the goal line.
Oh, boy. For the Plainfield Cardinals, they had the right idea. They had the right play call, and he just couldn't hang on to the ball. And the Franklin Warriors will take over on downs again. This is the 4th time this has happened today. So credit where credit is due for this Franklin Warriors defense. We called it last week, bend but don't break, but they just been completely dominating here today. A couple miscues here and there, but overall a phenomenal showing by the Warriors defense. Now 1st and 10, almost at their own goal line here. Red Jaber takes the snap in the shotgun set. They're going to run it up the middle, try to get something out, make something out of nothing.
Number 17, Joshua Cordoba, in on the stop with at least 4 other Cardinals. Once again, Dave, you're absolutely right. Franklin is proving last week wasn't luck, wasn't a fluke, wasn't just by chance, and wasn't the fact that Elizabeth was off their game. They came to play last week. They absolutely came to play this week, and they're showing that they have a lot more play in them for the weeks and seasons to come.
Yeah, I mean, you look up and down this roster of the Franklin Warriors, there's a lot of guys that will be coming back. And, of course, just like any other season, you're going to lose a lot of your better senior players. But this coaching regime is something to be spoken for. I mean, they're doing a very good job making sure these boys play hungry every single week. And looking ahead, I mean, if they close this one out, a team like Hunterdon Central, yes, they're a very dominating team. They've always been for years. But did they, a couple more meetings this week, a couple more like, all right, we thought we were going to run over the Warriors as they came up on the schedule. But now the Warriors are playing with a 2-game, you can call this a winning streak because it is. And maybe Hunterdon is going to backpedal on their thoughts of their own Thanksgiving Day or their own playoff football. Now you have to take this Warriors team in November, or at the end of October, serious.
Not only that, but this is the perfect time for the Warriors team to go in there with a ton of confidence.
Absolutely.
Not only for what they've done here today in Plainfield, but they beat a state-ranked team that came in 5-1 in Elizabeth.
So now 2nd down, Ahmad Red Jaber is in at quarterback as they gave Kayvon Gordon the rest of the day off for his work done. This is going to be a handoff up the middle. And it looks to be spilled around, that's 22. That's Isaiah Solomon trying to burn some more clock. And the clock is stopped again as I believe Plainfield keeps burning their timeouts, as they should in this situation. We're going to go to 3rd down coming up here.
That stop was by number 14, Zelly Jones of Plainfield, trying to bottle up this run and trying to prevent a 1st down, which at this point, if Franklin could convert a first, that would just be about almost academic for the time that's left in this game.
Yeah, so 3rd and short coming up for the Franklin Warriors, trying to put this game away and on ice. We want to thank everybody for tuning in on the HSG network, courtesy of Facebook Live. And thank you again to Fruita Bowls for all their contributions for this week's game. Dave Sturcio up in the booth with Scott Harrell and, of course, Howard Gaber on the camera, on the controls, producing as only he knows how, as we are trying to wrap this up tonight. Remember, as we hand this ball up, he's going to look for a first down. He might have more. There he goes. He's got a step on him. He's going to go. 40, 30, 25, 20. It's a foot race. This is Donnell McQuilla. Touchdown, Franklin Warriors.
McQuilla time is all the time.
And this, that whole long, drawn-out touchdown is going to be brought back on a hold. Oh, man.
The thing that every running back hates to see. Oh.
That's why, every Sunday when I'm watching the NFL and something good happens for my Dallas Cowboys, I have to watch and wait. Like, that's great, but is there a penalty? Like, you got to wait and wait and wait, and then you find out there's no yellow icon on the bottom of your screen. You're like, okay, now I can celebrate. That's exactly what we saw there as a long run turns into a no run. So you got to be.
And you got your plug-in for your Dallas Cowboys.
Of course, we're red hot right now. I think it's one of those things where it's back and forth, and I'm so tired of losing on the road. So hopefully they can get it done tomorrow in Washington. But speaking of more football, if you like what you're seeing here on the broadcast, the HSG Network will be live again today. That's right, we have our own doubleheader tonight. The Major League Football Championship game, 2018 season. The Brooklyn Seminoles taking on the New York Rebels in Ridgefield Park. Look for all the links to be posted up and streamed around 7 o'clock tonight. So before we get there, the Franklin Warriors are trying to wrap this up, and there he goes, and Solomon breaks one, and there he goes. He's got to have the legs and the he's got it, 40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10-5. Solomon does it again. That's 2 weeks in a row.
Well, if it's not McQuilla time, call it Solomon because he's Salagon. Oh, my goodness.
My goodness, what a run and a sound clip for years to come. Salagon. I like that. 26-2 as they're just trying to run out some clock, but Solomon has had that kind of year where if he hits the hole and he gets the time and the space, he's gone. He's just been lightning fast. He's had himself a phenomenal, phenomenal season. As I said, coming into this game, he came in here with 397 yards on the ground. Today alone might have eclipsed over 500 yards for this kid in his senior year. So good job to Isaiah Solomon. A job well done. 26-2, 2:50 to go here.
Don't try and tell that young man to run out clock. He's going to take it to the house.
Absolutely. So an extra point attempt, hot pursuit, but that one's going to go up, in, and through. 27-2 in favor of the Franklin Warriors. Now you're going to see this on in your papers tomorrow, and you're going to say, okay, how did Franklin bounce back after that win? Not bounce back, but at least keep going in their season. Was it luck? Was it chance? Was it just the football gods rained down on them last week? But now you're going to look at the sheet when you look at this, and you're going to see a 27 to possibly 2. There's still 2:50 to go. 27-2 commanding win on the road.
Absolutely.
And now they got to do it again next week, and there's so much positive, obviously, to take from this game, but at least the last 2 games. And now Hunterdon Central, I'm telling you right now, like this is one of those situations where you might want to, schedule a couple more meetings, maybe a couple more minutes following some tape. They're going to be zeroing in on Solomon because the guy's running like a freight train. And the end of the season for these guys is looking very positive as they head into Hunterdon Central. And then after that, obviously, we take a couple weeks off and we return to you in our house in Somerset on Thanksgiving morning to take on Piscataway. And Piscataway, obviously, they're the Chiefs, man. I mean, the Piscataway team has been dominant since I was a kid. So it's one of those things where they just keep pumping out stars, and now you're seeing these guys pop up in the NFL. So it's something to be said about that Piscataway team. And now 25 will kick this ball off. It's a new kicker. That's George Amonkwa. Will kick it off here for the Warriors as they kick it to the up man. That's 13 on the recovery and run, and he won't get very far. So 2:45 to go from another Franklin Warrior win in which, again, to me, I mean, to the viewers at home, this has to look and feel like a statement win where it's just, we got the skill. We just went off, got off to a rough part of the schedule. We played a lot of hard teams. They were battling the injury bug. I spoke to Coach Pachkowski before the season even started, and he said, Dave, it's a young team. We got a lot of sophomores on the field that have to start based on availability. It's just one of those things where you didn't know what to expect. And you knew there was going to be a lot of growing pains, but they just seemed to be figuring it out at the right time heading into a new season next year.
And it's a beautiful thing to watch these young men grow up right in front of you. And for things to start gelling, you knew the coaching staff could see the talent on the team, could see the things that were going to come together. They were calling the plays, calling the shots, and they weren't clicking. It was almost coming, almost connecting, but they could see down the road if they just stayed with it and if the team stayed disciplined, big things were going to happen for them.
That's Christopher Donald on the previous play with a huge stop in the backfield. Now Langston's going to look. He's going to look over the middle. He's going to get a catch and knocked out of the hands. Good job on that one. That's good defense there by number 9, it looks like, and that is Alan Bello. And 8 also in on that one. That was Ricardo Folks.
And playing defense right up into the end, they're not giving anything away. That's going to bring up 3rd and long for Plainfield.
And this is, flip side of the coin. Plainfield, going to fall to 1-6 for this season. But it seems to me that these guys want to make sure that they tell their coaching staff we're not giving up. We're not going to, let this one fold up so fast. They want to try and make it happen. Flush to the weak side of his body is going to be incomplete again.
And getting that pressure in on the quarterback, something that Franklin's been getting better at every single game. I mean, I feel as if, like you said, when everybody in Franklin opens up the paper tomorrow, they would do themselves a disservice if they only looked at the score. They have to look at also some of the box stats and see how Franklin really came out in the beginning of this game and took control from the first half into the second.
So now 3rd and long, and if you're not, there's no mess up on your screen. There's a lot of pure white jerseys, meaning there's no dirt stains on any of these jerseys. Oh my goodness, another interception. And this time, that is a ball he's going to keep and frame. Wow. And that's number 71, Abdul Quayum Matthews. My goodness. You just don't think that was going to happen. And just when you thought, oh, my.
He plays outside line, offensive line and linebacker. That is not someone who is thinking that he's going to get a pick.
It's almost as if the ball hits him in the chest and he's like, why is this happening to me right now? Why? I don't want this ball. So 2:02 to go, another turnover. You talk about a defense that has been turning good teams over here in the late part of the season. Another one comes, and like I said, that ball is going to be dipped in gold and put on his mantle because I can't see that happening again ever in his life. And that's no offense to the kid. I'm just saying position-wise, you just didn't see him in that position.
No.
Red Jaber now hands the ball off to the outside. Sweeping is McQuilla. McQuilla shaking a tackle. And now a flag. What's the flag for? Is the fumble? You got to be kidding me. What is the flag for? The whistle is not blown, folks. Now it has. Why? First of all, an ill-advised whistle and a flag, I'm not sure. I mean, the only thing I can think of is a taunting penalty. I mean, or helmet to helmet, maybe.
But now,
why blow the play dead is the bigger question.
And we have a Franklin player down as well with his helmet off.
This is not the time for injuries to happen when a game is put away. 27-2, $1:44 to go.
Wait a second, I think that's...
I'm not really sure. Let's just hang on for a second as we wait for the referees to figure out what they're going to call here. But the injured...
I see a number 2. That could be Red Jaber.
Well, that would be a heartbreaking loss for the kid. I'm not sure if it's him, but we do have a player down as the referees are huddling up together to figure out what to call on what looked to be a clean strip, recovery, and take by the Cardinals, so we'll find out.
Now, let's see. The player's getting up. Number 42. Okay, we got number 42 from Franklin. That's Donnie McQuilla.
That is the running back who actually had that run. So kudos to him. They're going to give a personal foul, and it's going to be a shot to the head penalty. And you got to wonder about player safety. It's one of those things you want to emphasize on every level of the playing field, whether it be Pop Warner, high school, college, or even the pros. And they've really buckled down on these helmet-to-helmet shots.
Absolutely. I can still see, though, why Plainfield and both coaching staffs would kind of gripe the play, because at least to my understanding, that play was still in motion and should not have been whistled dead midway for that flag. But, you know.
Again, moving on. Red Jaber is going to try to end this game. 1:44 to go. First down, new set of downs based off the penalty. He's got to flip it on the other side of the field to make sure it's a first down, because right now it's showing fourth. There you go. That's why you get paid the big bucks to hold the chains.
Someone's getting paid?
Can you imagine that? Red Jaber in the shotgun here. He's probably going to hand this ball off to now number 3. A new running back is in the ball game, and that's Toby Badrew. We talked about him earlier this afternoon.
Toby Badrew, one of the up-and-comers. I did not catch. I believe that was number 6 in Derek Thomas. We're starting to see a couple new numbers come out there from both sides so that everybody can, really get a chance at this game. Show some of the people who aren't starting, give them their opportunity to go out there and show what they can do on the field, show their drive, show their desire. Time to come out, show us you can play.
And if I know Badrew like I know Badrew, if he gets in the open field, he ain't sitting down. This kid's going to try to hit some pay dirt here late in the game. He's going to take a knee, and that should wrap us up. He's probably going to have to take one more after that to really wrap it up here. Scott, your thoughts as it winds down on a 27-2 victory for the Franklin Warriors?
It's been an excellent game from start to finish, and what I liked about everything I saw the Franklin Warriors do today, they truly proved that last week, as exciting as it was to beat Elizabeth, it wasn't a fluke. They came together, they took control of the first half, and carried that control all the way through the second half. Defense showed up just like they did last week from the door, and then the offense, instead of waiting for them to come out of the locker room after halftime, no, they scored before halftime and actually gave a cushion going into the second half. This is a team that's really started to gel, come together, attacking the ball carriers, attacking the quarterback with pursuit. This is a dangerous team at this point of the season.
Yeah, I mean, the momentum is definitely on their side heading into a very highly contested matchup now, which, again, when you look at the schedule when it comes out early in the season, when that schedule comes out, you circle games that might be harder than others. 100 and Central on the road, it doesn't get much harder than that. However, hold the phone, because now the Franklin Warriors will be coming off 2 wins in a row, one against a ranked team, and good teams are supposed to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. They came in here 1-5 with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, a little bit of momentum, and you know what? I'm telling you right now, they knew, and now a flag. I mean, I don't know what the heck they're calling on this one. They're just trying to take a knee, but I mean, something to be said for if the referee's like that. I mean, I understand a false start. Not everybody was set.
Wow.
Referees just love blowing their whistle and getting that center of attention. But again, like I said to you before, when you have teams on the schedule like this, good teams are supposed to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. And they came in here today and they beat the team they were supposed to beat.
Absolutely right, Dave. I mean, once again on paper, Plainfield lost to Elizabeth by more than 50 points. So, ergo, if Franklin beats Elizabeth, Franklin is supposed to come in here and beat Plainfield.
And that's what they did, and impressively, too, as the clock runs down. Another win for the Franklin Warriors. That's 2 in a row as they come on the road and defeat the Plainfield Cardinals by the score of 27-2. We'd like to thank again Fruita Bowls for coming on as a sponsor. The HSG Network is obviously produced by Howard Gaber. I'm Dave Sturcio alongside Scott Harrell. Join us tonight at 7 o'clock for some Saturday night primetime action as Major League Football will present their championship